Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Winter 2026, day one of Seasonalander. I am Eki in the booth with Airballer on production and BBL as my co-caster. How are you feeling today, BBL?
I'm feeling great. I mean, this is a great cause. I'm really excited to see these games. Day one is going to be very fun. We haven't seen these teams play yet, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. We don't have a sheet to go off of these players. I recognize some of the names, but not many of them, and I'm expecting some pretty good games and some pretty cool maps.
Yeah, I mean, our first map of the day, I believe this will be Stormbreaker is sight to behold for those of you who maybe have not seen this one before. It is definitely a spectacle, but this matchup here, let me just double check who's going to be playing. I do know that we will have Joystick Jump Scare versus, I
It's
believe.
going to be the Giggling
Right, the
Podcasters will be
giggling
our first match.
podcasters. Of course, of course. I guess while we have the time, really quick before we start rambling about stuff, let's go over these rosters really quick. So, your players for the joystick jump scare will be Brickiest Brick Gray, the one and only, the goat, Kega Man. You will have. Oh, I'm having a dyslexia moment. Hang on. Windexian, right here. Got it. We're back. We'll have Bacon Ultimate, Cypher Lock, Pope Squidly, Fog Ballistic, who, as is tradition with these Seasonalanders, is playing in a very interesting manner that we'll bring up in a little bit. And last but not least, we will have Maya Bond. Those are your players for Joystick Jump Scare.
And now for the players for the Giggling Podcasters, you're going to be seeing Cyber Wizard on Scout, Kaluka on Soldier, Great Blue on Pyro, C Ravioli on Demo, The What on Heavy, PK Beats on Engineer, Grape Juice on Medic, Fish Stick on a Stick on Sniper, and Raw Spy.
Interesting. I don't think I recognize anybody out of this except for obviously Grape Blue and Grape Juice and well the what, but everybody else I am not familiar with except for of course Gray and Kegaman who I know on Joystick Jump Scare. But I guess in relation to the name of Joystick Jump Scare, those of you who may remember the previous Seasonalander, Fog played with a Wii remote. This year, I guess this season, they're getting a little quirky with it. They are actually using a joystick from a GameCube controller, a wired GameCube controller is the tech that they are using to play Sniper in this event. So it's going to get pretty interesting regardless of what happens. I mean, the joystick gameplay is going to be a pleasure to watch regardless of what goes on. So I'm just looking forward to the fog cam whenever we get on that on stream because it'll definitely be a pleasure to see what's happening there. But like I mentioned earlier, our first map of the day will be Stormbreaker. It's a 3 CP map for this Highlander format. And I'm interested to see how it's going to play out. We had some time to kind of fly around in the free cam before we went live with this, and it looks like it's a really tight map. Um, Definitely going to force a lot of team play.
Yeah, I mean, definitely going through this map, like first glances, haven't played on it before, but just from like looks, the verticality of the map is something I'm really interested in. All the points are going to be like underneath basically almost all of the other parts of the map when we're looking at mid or each side's corresponding last. It's only 3 CP instead of 5. It's really I haven't seen a map like this honestly in a very long time, so it's going to be very cool to see how these teams handle it, of course. And I mean, like, just looking through this map, having to play it on a GameCube controller of all things, look, is going to be a very, very difficult. So anytime where we're able to see him in the action, it's going to be very, very fun to see. But This map definitely looks very interesting, very detailed. I love the way that the map creator has done some of the things with this, you know, like with the Seasonalander logos everywhere, and how honestly, like this is definitely one of the coolest maps I've seen in like quite a while. So very,
Oh
very
yeah.
excited to see this first map coming on soon.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell there's a lot of passion put into this map. I mean, there's just a lot of love, a lot of care put into this. I mean, there's a plane on the undercarriage of the blimp here that shakes as if it's actually getting blown around by the wind. I mean, there's a lot of detail on this map. Obviously, a lot of passion, a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of attention put into this map. But let's not forget as well that we are here for charity. We are here to raise money for Child's Play, a charity that gives games to kids in the hospital while they're staying there under some very unfortunate circumstances. I mean, if you're a kid in the hospital, it's not fun. I think a lot of us can attest to that. I can sure attest to that. It's not fun being there. It's stressful. It's a lot to wrap your mind around as a kid, and Child's Play just aims to make their experience as comfortable as possible. They give games. They just they make the stay in the hospital as comfortable as it possibly can be. I mean, like I said, it's just not a fun environment to be in if you are young, if you are a kid. Uh, and I think, I mean, who can't get behind the idea of children being able to be comfortable in such a high stress situation environment like that?
Yeah, I mean, we're already at $700 for the $2,000 goal, so the EU guys definitely did a very good job at that. I can definitely say, yeah. I mean, it's a cause I feel like is like unanimously, accepted as like being a good thing. Helping kids out when they're in their like most like dire time of need at times, and this charity, has been going on for a couple of decades now. Very, very um very happy to be able to support them in their cause, and this, just helping kids out, like giving them that distraction, giving them that escape when they need it the most. It's very heartwarming to see, and definitely hoping to see that number go up throughout the stream. Very curious to see how high we're able to get up in this first day of two for Seasonalander.
Absolutely. And if you are interested in donating, there is the link on the screen in the bottom right. There's also a QR code up toward the top left that I believe you can scan to get a direct link to the Tiltify page. I believe at $1,000 raised as well, there will be an unusual giveaway for people who are active in chat after the grand final. You can also do !donate in the chat to get a link to the Tiltify campaign as well. But come on, we know North Americans, we love to dog on the Europeans. We love to do it. Show some of that competition here. Beat them Euros out with your wallet. If you are able, throw some of that money toward Child's Play. It's simple as we can beat the Europeans in game and in donations.
Yeah, and I mean, just friendly banter back and forth, being able to get that up. I already see a $25 donation coming in from Corey. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, hopefully, we just keep seeing that goal go up throughout the duration of these games. I mean, everyone here is, we're getting close to being able to start. It looks like we're just waiting for one player on the side of the podcasters. So once I believe it's Grape Juice that we're missing. Once he's able to show up, we'll be able to get the show on the road and start this first map of the first match of Seasonalander NA. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good.
I'm very excited for it. I mean, there's a lot of great players on both of these teams. Granted, I don't recognize a lot of them off the top of my head, but I mean, I've seen some of them here and there. I remember a couple of them from Seasonalanders past. I remember how some of them play, and definitely that there are a lot of good players in this matchup. So this should not only is this a great first map to start on for the night. This is going to be a great or for the night. I say it's that muscle memory kicking in. For the day, I should say. It's going to be a great first matchup as well with these two teams just going up against each other. Plus, of course, the gimmick of Fog on the GameCube controller. It's just going to be a fun match all the way around. And I think it's just going to be an interesting dynamic. I don't remember the last time I've seen any control point map played in Highlander. I do remember somewhat recent horror stories of people I know in Europe playing Highlander where they played Gully Wash and
Yeah, I was gonna say Gully Wash is the only map that I've heard even within this like decade be played. So trying to tackle that from like a Highlander perspective is gonna be very very new, challenging if you aren't able to take this together as a team with all the flank routes, with how like intricate this map is. It's gonna be very very new for these players. So we'll see how they adapt to it. I've seen quite a few of these guys be pretty good at the game. I give them 2 thumbs up, and yeah, we should be starting soon enough.
yeah, I do believe we are just still waiting on one guy, but as soon as they're in here, I think one of these teams is already rupped, so we should be going live relatively soon. But yeah, like you said, this map is very intricate. It's very tight. It's going to encourage a lot of team play. And something that is interesting is that this is a 3 CP map. It's not 5 CP like Gully Wash. So things are going to flow slightly differently. Things are going to be a little bit different. And it's not going to be, super familiar, but it's not going to be so foreign that you have no idea what you're doing, right? You know the general idea. You got to get to this point. You got to move into last. You have to fight as a team. But like I said, with how tight this map is, it's going to make you rethink some of the angles you go for, some of the fights that you take. And I think we're going to see a lot of spam dominance here, especially when we try to see maybe people retreating through their own choke in mid. If they're caught out, it's basically a guaranteed death just because this choke is so small.
Yeah, no, if you definitely get caught off guard here on any of these corridors, you're probably going to blow up immediately. It'll be very interesting to see with like how like these flanks sort of orient around the map, how the pinch plays are going to happen, how their collapses are going to happen from each side to another. And I mean, with it only being 3 points, if you lose out on that mid fight, you lose out on that first fight, you're sent back to your last. You have to like defend, or otherwise you're immediately losing a point. Looks like it's going to be first to 3 from my understanding of how the config's going to work. So it'll definitely, it could be very, very fast paced. It could also be an absolute just brutal war of attrition here. It'll be very interesting to see. It looks like very on the last very defense sided points. It'll be interesting to see how much it takes for each team to actually be able to cap the other team's respective last. And also thank you so much for the $10 donation from a Glow Maniac. We're already up to $735. I mean, if we keep this pace up, we'll be hitting the goal. But it looks like Eki, we're gonna be starting here. Both teams have ready it up, so I'll let you take the first mid.
Yeah, absolutely. And going into it here, I'm going to be interested to see what the tech is right away. Windex getting deep into mid here, getting a lot of space here. I don't know if this is. Oh no,
Oh,
they
it looks like
baited
there's an
us.
AFK player.
They
Um,
baited us on the rup. Oh no, we've been trolled.
yeah,
It's not even.
looking at
We
the
haven't even got past the first round, and we've already been trolled.
yeah, I
I
was gonna
can't
say
believe it.
like I was like trying to pay attention to the rollouts and I was getting very confused and then I looked down at the chat and it's just yeah, it looks like a ready up didn't actually fully go through, but at
Yeah,
least we're ready. We're on the button so to speak. The
absolutely.
moment we hear it's going, we're running it. So um it's definitely that rollout from Blue Demo though was very unique. I
Yeah.
wonder you get any information from the teams, you see, oh, their demo's going really fast. Maybe we're gonna go a different way. Who knows? Well, we'll see though.
I wonder also, maybe that's just like they realized it was a bait, so they're kind of just like running around and doing jumps that, normally they wouldn't do. But also maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't catch on in time. Maybe they were doing their rollout that they have practiced. I mean, I can't imagine that rollout will benefit Windex very much. They took a lot of damage just to, get to the high ground of mid and they immediately dropped down. So I'm not entirely sure, but I have got word we should be going live here in just over a minute. So for real this time, I don't think we're getting trolled or baited. We should be seeing the first round of Stormbreaker here between Joystick Jump Scare and the Giggling Podcasters.
Yeah, definitely. Since STV, we got a 90-second delay or so. Hopefully, this rep is actually going to be going through soon enough. And I mean, definitely with these players going to be paying attention to certain individuals, paying attention to Gray main soldier, one of their better classes. It'll be interesting to see how they play around this. Looking at like just the verticality of the map, I do wonder where the skybox necessarily ends. I haven't walked around this map, but just like looking through it, just looking up, like it is a very, very tall map. So I am
Oh, yeah.
curious to see if there are any interesting like bombs or whatnot that we'll be seeing from the soldiers. Maybe going around the sides of the blimp to, if that's possible. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm very excited, and I'm assuming the players are even more so being able to plan something like this.
Absolutely. I mean, this map, we've talked about this map a little bit. It's very interesting. There's a lot going on with it, but we are going live for real this time. No troll to the first round of Seasonalander Winter 2026, the NA portion of this tournament. Right away, looks like we're going to have the podcasters being a little bit faster. Sniper already in position, trying to find an angle, but there's not really anything for him to find. Not taking SVS with Fog there. The first one to fall will be Cyber. Now Fog Ballistic with the first pick of the game. For the second pick of the game, rather, will find the pick onto the other Sniper Wall. Going to be getting in behind, finding the backstab on to Fog. Windex all in their lonesome up here on the yellow pipe. Has to drop down to meet the beam. Now Gray getting launched and then cratering on the edge of the blimp here. Raw getting in behind Pope and finds the backstab. Now finds Bacon. Now Brick goes down as well as Cyber Wizard is able to find the pistol that takes them down. Now, keep this in mind. Cypherlock does have a teleporter behind the red team, but there's not really a lot that is going to be done with this teleporter. Mid's already been capped. They have to set up for last. They might be able to find something with it. Fog.
Yeah, and I mean, being at full ad here for the side of red, this is going to be really good. Coming in, getting the sniper and spy picks. Uber is going to be coming out as well on C Ravioli here, as he's going to be trying to trap off the spawn. We'll see if Cap Time's going to be able to come through, though. Cypherlock's gun is going down. The heavy, the what, being able to get on the point, ×3 on the cap, as Blue's desperately trying to swing out to save the point. Kegaman is able to get multiple picks on the point here, being tanked, but it might be to not be able to get anything here, is like Fog with the GameCube is able to get the pick on the heavy, but that's going to be it. It's already going to be the first round going to the Giggling Podcasters on red. I mean, that's just dominant gameplay right there. We saw in the mid, Rob being able to get all those picks, and then you have full Uberad going into last, and it's just simple convert for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a great couple opening picks, and then some of those late mid-fight picks from Raw to find a couple of backstabs, especially onto folks quickly. Getting that med out of the equation is very important. Now Fog will find a pick onto the other sniper, so that is out of the equation. They don't have to worry about that sight line at all. We do lose a Brickus Brick in the meantime, but that shouldn't be too much of a detriment. Windex will go down, no sniper now for the side of the joystick side as Fog is taken down. Raw will find the pick on the Kegaman, and now it is looking like it's functionally speaking a team wipe for the side of joystick. We do have Mayabon who could potentially shift the momentum there, decloaking, but spotted by the engineer. Immediately decloaked by the crate, will fall. Now the push coming in from the side of Raw, getting in onto the center, doing the stab to the team, can push in from the left side. The Uber coming through, pressuring, a lot of pressure towards the spawn, but the demo Windex getting a lot of stickers on top of the point, getting a lot of good damage toward the Buddhist. Edstars will go down. PK is able to find that mini pick onto Windex. So now Fog falls, Gray will fall as well. There's no spam for the side of joystick, and they will lose their second round here. And this map seems like it's going by pretty fast, but there is still plenty of time left in this game for a potential comeback.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, it was just breakneck pace for the side of the podcasters, already also being able to get on the point for the third time now as Fog Ballistic loses SPS, the fish stick on a stick. Unfortunately, the GameCube controller is not able to save him this time, as it looks like the podcasters are going to be able to get some early cap time on the point. Blue is trying to get through here, though. It does get a double there on Fish Stick and C Ravioli, so it looks like Red's going to be losing a lot of players. All of them are very hurt, so it's going to be very difficult for them to hold on. It looks like they're going to have to back up, and we might be seeing the first mid one from the side of Joystick.
It is possible. Now, there is a scout hugging the plane down below. Never mind, they've fallen to their death. So, Cypher Wizard finished off by Kegaman on the Pyro. Now, FSOS is still peeking out, finds the pick onto Fog here. And that will remove the sight line they have. Now, Mayabon playing on top of this yellow valve just behind Grape Juice. They decloak, unheard. They're in for the backstab, and they find the drop onto Grape Juice. Beautiful play from Mayabon there. Very aggressive decloak, and it plays out very well for them. Now, Pope sitting with that full of rad. They're pressuring onto the point. Kudus is low. Should be a free pick, and yes, it will be. Mayabon pressuring forward to find some info. Spam coming through from the side of Kaluka, but will not find. Actually, they will find Gray, as Gray gets a little too aggressive there. Cypher watching that respawn as well.
Yeah, no, amazing picks there from Mayabon, as it looks like Joystick are going to be able to convert off of that. Still having Uber as well, so hopefully we'll be able to see some early aggression come out from the side of Blues. Rod's going to be trying to go in for the pick here. Is able to get the demo, and the Med drops to the Pyro.
But Mayabon going down the counter.
Mayabon also getting the pick on Fish Stick, so it's going to be down 5 for both teams here, but Red is going to have the medic up. Red is going to have Grape Juice at the helm here, so they might be able to cap this, but a back cap is happening with Kegaman on the point.
Kegaman wins or gets the sentry down there, almost wins the fight with PK, but not successful. And unfortunately, I think even, I respect the effort from Kegaman, don't get me wrong, but I don't think you win that back cap there, since mid has a 4x on it. But that is a great idea to try and draw the eyes away. Now, you do have to be careful because you don't have a super easy method to, just exterminate the spy if they get in. PK will find the peek onto Maya. So speaking of spies, there isn't one alive for the side of a Joystick jump scare team. Brutus getting pressured out very hard from right and takes too long to leave. Will get taken down. See Ravioli able to find the sticky pick. Now the sentry getting taken down by Raw. Gray's going to be able to find PK and their sentry as well. No cap time on the point so far. Kegaman dropping down to fight the Brutus in the 1v1. Stick is coming in. A lot of damage. The arrow almost saves him. Grape Juice has to back away. And it looks like it's a flub push, at least for the time being, for the side of Giggling Podcasters. But wait a minute. The reaggress coming in. A lot of good damage. The scout getting into the beam space, and now the demo space as well. Windex gets taken down. It's just the medic versus the scout. They get the Uber Saw. The Uber on top of the point to prevent the cap. And now they have plenty of time for their teammates to get back into the fight. Fog drops down on top of the point with the SMG in hand. The COD gun is out, and they're going to be able to find a pick. Raw is still behind on top of the point, and Kega finds it. Kega finds 2 as well. They find PK, and they manage to hold on.
It was looking like it was going to be a very quick 3-0 for the side of the podcasters, but with the Saw coming out from the side of Pope Squidly being able to get that Uber and get those respawns, it looks like now we're also going on the aggressive, trying to swing through the right here out of their spawn, not able to find anything besides the dispenser.
Maya's in!
Maya does almost get the pick, goes down, which is very unfortunate for the side of Blue here. Might be stifling any momentum they had of trying to get down. It looks like they're going to have to reset.
Raise in on the Grape Juice and find 2! Oh my! They find Grape Juice and Cypher Wizard for their troubles. A great salvage from Gray there.
Yeah, no, that was an amazing bomb from Gray, and now having full ad, and looks like, well, they had player ad, but they lost multiple picks afterwards. Great Blue and Kaluka being able to get picks on the Scout and the Demo respectively. They're going to be able to reset, and we'll see if they're able to get Pope Squidly to drop, maybe force. Definitely looking to try and bait that medic out into making a mistake.
Absolutely. Oh, so finds the pick onto Fog there, so no sniper up for the side of the Joystick jump scare team. But Mayabon will be able to get in and find a pick on the sniper. Gray going to be bombing forward, getting some damage. The Uber now coming out in this stairwell toward the point. Windex finds the sentry built by PK. Kaluka goes down to Gray as well, but that Uber is over, and they have to back up a little bit. Shouldn't have to back up too much, but they will have to concede some space here. It is high ground on the attack. Wait a minute, Declo going in onto Fog, can't turn around in time. Gets the pick onto C Ravioli just in time before Raw finds the pick but find the pick they do, and they're decloaking for the demo. They get the side stab onto Windex, and now with no demo, 3-player advantage for the side of the Podcasters. They are pressuring in from lower, but the Mayabon play on the Great Juice equalizes the pressure, and now the Putis on last, all on their lonesome, but wait a minute, they solo the beam, and now they have Brickiest Brick getting in. Brickiest Brick falls into the lower portion of the point, having to fight a 2v1 on top of the point. Kegaman dropping in now with Gray in tow. They should be able to find the pick on a Kaluka and Efsos, and they will be able to. And that is another hold by the skin of their teeth from Joystick.
I was going to say, Les is taking an awfully long time to cap here, so it's giving Blue multiple opportunities to be able to refight, and they're able to hold on by the skin of their teeth, as Fishstick is going to be the only one down. Great Blue trying to get a pick out on Kegaman, but isn't able to, as Brickiest Brick finishes him off. No Pyro now, and Mayabon going down, so you're not going to have to worry about the spy for the side of Red, as it looks like Joystick is going to be able to try and get some pressure on the point with Bacon Ultimate on the point there is heavy, but it looks like it's stalling out a little bit. We'll see if they're able to convert this.
But what, having the high ground here on top of the point, it will be a little bit difficult for them to get that pressure. Windex has to jump over the point from the enemy side to get back to the beam. Will not be caught up, though. We'll watch him find that pick. Heckman charging in onto Great Blue to try and find the Pyro pick. Will not be successful. Gets taken down by Raw. The Spy has the gun, but mid has been flipped. So that does give the podcasters, excuse me, Joystick a little bit of time in the stabilizing department, but with Bacon Ultimate and Gray going down here, any hope of a salvage is gone, and now's 2 with Mayabon and Fog falling. Functionally, this is a team wipe, and they're going to have to play on their own last with Uber Disat. Efsos finds the pick onto Brick. Push from the right side flank, looking at it from the Podcaster's POV. They're pushing in, getting a lot of good damage and some great picks here. Kegaman Fog going down. Now the Sentry and the Dispenser, they're Ubering toward the spawn, forcing them to kite through their own spawn on the side of Joystick. Heavy now down onto the point. Not a lot of players here that can effectively contest. No Soldier, no Demo. Scout trying to pressure through the beam, waddling toward the point here, doing as best as they can. The folks at least taken down, and the Podcasters will walk away from this first game in a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, definitely a very lopsided game, more lopsided than I thought it was going to be. The Podcasters did an amazing job coordinating a lot of those pushes as well as those holds. You know, it didn't matter that they had a couple of times where they were slipping up a little bit. They were able to immediately, you know, reset, slow the game down, and retake momentum. Whether it be Great Blue pushing the medic off into the pit during that last mid fight there that we saw turn into Uber ad, like they were just able to consistently chip down Joystick, so it was almost impossible for them to be able to get out their spawn for an extended period of time.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw just great team play from the side of the Podcasters as well, whether it be, I think something that we probably didn't see too much just in the camera's POV, because we're focusing a lot on the fights, is the what playing the height as much as they were. Putis on the high ground is essentially a free win button. Very hard to deal with a Putis when you have to shoot up at him and he just gets to shoot down at you. Gets, you know, admittedly not getting as much ramp up as I think maybe they would have liked to, but I mean, I don't think it really matters, because at the end of the day, it's a heavy on the high ground that you're not shooting down and is getting a lot of value just damage wise, especially on those mids where there's that little sliver of space that you can see down into the point. You stand on top of these a couple of crates, I believe, is what you have to do. You see down into that point. You can get a lot of great pressure, a lot of great presence, and minimize your damage taken. So just very well played from all sides, really, on the Podcasters. You know, forcing Joystick into some very unfortunate positions, making them kite through their spawn a lot, which is really all you can ask for on a last that takes, you know, a little bit longer to cap than I think most people are comfortable with.
Yeah, no, I mean, with how long it takes for less, if you don't have quite a few players on the point, it causes a lot of refight potential for the defense. And I mean, looking at just the overall game, yeah, the what was able to go 25-6 was amazing for the podcasters as well as raw top like damaging, being able to get so many picks. It was very amazing to see. And I mean, credit to joystick, they were able to hold their own to an extent. There were definitely quite a few times that I thought the momentum was on their side, they're going to be able to convert and maybe even get a point, but unfortunately they weren't able to keep their met up, they weren't able to play off their ubers the way that grape juice and the podcasters were able to. Having grape juice, that invite, one of the best like sixes players, be able to guide you through those like tough moments, being able to, especially with the Zubers and pushing into last, how together you need to be able to actually convert the last point into a round being for your side. It was very great to see. Very great gameplay from both sides. From both sides. I
Mhm.
mean, Fog Ballistic with the GameCube controller had quite a few very interesting clutch picks. So
Yeah.
great game all around.
Honestly, won a lot more of those initiating SVS fights than I would have expected. Now, we do have a couple of donations that have come through. Maya Mogus saying, made PL Desolation. Honored to have it played for the event. Hope the gamers enjoy the map. And make sure they feed the grinder in spawn as well. Thank you for the 10. And I believe Polo, $10. Inshallah, these events keep going, and Dip with 10 as well. We Frags, Two Riches, Dog with Red Scarf. So thank you all for these donations. And if you are able, maybe you just tuned in, we are supporting the Child's Play charity, which aims to make the experiences of children in hospitals a little bit better by providing entertainment such as games to them so that they don't have to, well, deal with the stress of being in such a unforgiving mostly environment. I mean, hospitals are just not fun to be around when you are younger. Not fun to be in, not fun to be a patient, not fun just all around. And Child's Play really aims to just make that experience better for them. So if you are interested in donating, you can donate in through a couple of ways. There's a QR code up in the top left, the link on the screen, and if you type exclamation point donate in chat, it gives you a link to the Tiltify campaign. We're at 765 right now, so we're on pretty good pace to at least get to 1,000. Which, if we get to 1,000 after the grand final, a unusual will be given away to whoever is selected from those who are active in chat after the grand final occurs.
Yeah, and I mean, I believe it's a Searing Plasma Scout Shaco. Very nice
Ooh.
hat. And I mean, for the cause as well, it has some, emotions tied behind it, has a story to it. Hey, how do you get that hat? Oh, I got it from this charity event. And then, the conversation goes from there. So I'm just
Mhm.
saying, great prize, great cause, $765. I mean, we're already a third of the way there, and I definitely think we can keep pushing forward, keep getting that goal even closer to the $2,000 mark.
Absolutely. And I mean, like I said earlier, the North Americans love to one up the Europeans. The Euros are the ones that, mostly I would imagine got us to this point where we're at 700 coming into, the American segment. So if you wanna have some banter with the Euros, you wanna one up them a little bit. If you're able, we do highly encourage even a small little hunk of change thrown toward the Child's Play cause. But we are going to payload now. I believe this is Desolation. So, interesting map so far. Looks to be a little long, but that should make for a very interesting game.
I was watching this during the European segment at the start of day one, and I mean, with 5 points, it is a very long map, giving me kind of Swiftwater vibes at certain points, and very difficult to push out of. So we'll see how, as it looks like the podcasters are going to be the ones starting on offense. We'll see how they're able to handle getting through some of these points, and I'm very, very excited to see it. I'm expecting some longer times than we might see with other payload maps, but it looks like the game is going to be starting. Both teams are readied up, and we're going to be going into setup time. So, Eki, who are you going to be paying attention to in this first push to kind of like set the narrative for how the rest of the game's going to go? Who do you think's who's going to kickstart this all off?
Well, I think one of the people I'm going to have my eyes on is probably Sierra Ravioli. I know it's generic to keep your eyes on the demo, but they're the most impactful class for a reason. Demo has a lot of opportunity here, it can get out with these Ubers, and honestly, what I'm expecting right off rip is if we're doing this like you would normally do Highlander, you're going to get the crit set up on the cart. Then you're going to kite your beam back to spawn, you're going to swap to stock Uber, you're going to build that out. But it seems like we're going to be staying on crits here, maybe repositioning. No, they're going back to spawn, but their beam is going to be pretty far away from this first point, and with how far away the spawn is, I wouldn't be surprised if this first point is kind of treated like a swift water, where it's a gimme for the first point, but we'll have to see. Mayabon sitting on top of the rock playing the comm spy. Fog getting gunned down by the team as they pressure out from the right side. Will be a free pick for the side of the podcasters as they start to make their offense known. They go around the corner. Those stickies are spotted. Do get cleared. They are dead. So now no crit stickies around the cart for the side of Joystick. And we will have to wait and see what they're going to be doing here. Raw is this guy trying to get in from the flank. Brick will fall to the hands of the what here. So they're already making a pretty strong start on their offense. Mayabon does decloak and tries to go for the pick, but FSOS will find that spy behind. Sentry goes down, the what finds it. Beam and Demo pushing up from the right side. They're going to be taking that Uber into the base of Joystick, and they're going to be getting a lot of damage here. Scout trying to go in behind and contest the point. I believe that is Brick trying to fight the point. The what will find that pick as well as another a bit earlier. And this should basically be a free first point for the side of podcasters here. If they can kite around this Uber effectively, which it looks like they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, no, it was very sad to see. I mean, at the start of the game, their Pope didn't have Uber during that entire first defense. He finally gets it, but drops 3 right before he uses. Very unfortunate for the side of Joystick trying to hold on to first here. Now going back to Disad, kind of going back to square one. And I mean, for the podcasters, very, very good first. Very, you know, being able to maintain ad. We'll see if they're able to play off of it. The Uber was looking a little sketch. Pegaman almost getting
on it with the Eagles. And is immediately spotted the whiff staff. They do not find a pick.
Grip Juice goes down to the demo though.
That is going to be pretty huge for the side of Joystick here. We did see a soldier just bomb in going for the salvage. Now Raw going in. They're all trying to int for Pope. As Pope falls, they have to leave through lower all, and they're lonesome. There's nobody to defend the beam, and a terrible mistake in rooting has left the blue med, or the red med rather, destitute, and they have dropped their Uber to the scout that gave chase. So now the ball is in Joystick's court. Do they go for the salvage? It looks like they're going to be trying to. The spy is in. Mayabon trying to get the pick, and they will not be successful. They're gunned down by the sentry as they butter knife the beam a handful of times now. No real window to salvage. Gray trying to peek out, but the food is peeking out now. The sniper has that sight line locked down, so very risky play there. Kegaman pushing forward with the buff from the beam. Raw going to be able to find a pick on the Kegaman. Taken down by Windex, though. Traded out. Not the best trade in the world, but you're not going to complain if you can take it and slow them down on the side of the podcasters. Now, Cyber Wizard in on the card, trying to get some pressure in from behind. Going to be able to find the pick on the Fog. Now, looks like things are starting to slow down a little bit.
Looks like it. With that battalions popping out, they were able to sort of reset. They do lose Kega, and now also with the Mayabon being able to get the pick on Fish Stick. Now down 4 for the side of defense, but they don't have their snipers, so we'll see if they're able to get much further past the second point before having to wait for their players. But they do cap second, 3 minutes and 2 points. Very good time for the side of the podcasters. And with Ubers being out on both sides, I'm expecting something. Crits are going to be coming out though, trying to land the stick onto Hoops Ridley in the back. But gets reflected by Kegaman. That Crits is not going to turn into anything, and Pope's going to have full ad.
Wait a minute, that is Cyber Wizard going in deep onto Windex. Will not be able to get anything, but they do manage to push back Joystick here. Now, I believe it's Bright Blue pressuring in onto Kegaman. We'll find the Pyro pick there, so that's going to be nice. Can avoid the reflect incident like we had at there with the crits, but they know that the crit streak is on the table here. They know that it's going to be a weapon that is used against them. The Uber getting taken from the side of Joystick. They are pressuring forward. Mayabon going to be able to find the pick on a Kaluga. Now it's the beam separated from the rest of the team. Grape Blue is the only one there to defend Grape Juice, and they might actually be able to defend the beam. Grape Juice, a free pick, a hanging piece, if you will, is able to survive as the rest of the team on Vodcasters finds their way toward the cart and get so much pressure. They segment the players chasing their segmented beam, or the isolated beam, rather. And now the pressure is on Essos, pushing forward, finds pick on a Fog. The GameCube controller not good enough to win this SVS. And we'll watch them on counter. Cyber Wizard will fall. Bacon going to be able to find that pick.
Yeah, I was going to say, during the whole engagement, Raw able to get a 3K in the back. Great play from the side of Blue Spy, as it looks like Mayabon is also going to be trying to go in. Gets a lot of damage on Grape Juice, but Grape Juice is holding, disrespecting the Spy. You're not going to force me. I'm going to hold on to this crit streak for later, try to fight something more important. As it looks like just trying to slow down play around the cart. Fish Stick is able to get a pick on the demo, so looks like we're going to be seeing a heavy crits come out here soon enough.
Very likely could see a heavy crits, but I do think they'd maybe want to save it for something else. They're going to take the heavy crits, though. You are correct. They're going to be able to find the pick on a Bacon. Nobody else is here, though. High bomb coming in from the side of Gray, landing on top of the beam and the heavy, but the crits are still happening, and Gray will fall. So that's a feed from the soldier, unfortunately. I don't think it was an intentional feed. It very much looked accidental as they jumped into the room to try and find info. Trying to knock the demo into lava, but they will not be able to. The demo for Podcasters stays alive. Kaluka will fall to Brickiest Brick. And a lot of good fire damage coming out from Pegaman as they are able to get some players toward the cart. And this point here looks like it's going to be very advantageous to hold for the side of Joystick here. A long, narrow choke that you get a great line of sight into, but they don't seem to have any presence here, and Windex is extremely low, will get focused down by essentially the whole team, and we are committing hard for the last hole here. 4 points in 5:44.
Yeah, Fog almost is able to get the pick on Grape Juice. It misses, and Fish Stick is going to be cleaning him up immediately. As the crits is coming out of Super Ravioli, trying to see what he could get. Nothing because of the gun, the Cyclox gun being able to deny most of that crit, but they are able to get 3 picks out. Almost 4. Mayabon going down, Brickiest Brick going down as well. Pope Squiddly at 95%, so we'll see if they're able to get the Uber out in time. But this is going very well for the side of the Podcasters. PK beats is in on Pope Squiddly, goes down though. As a Pope Squiddly desperately trying to hold on to get the Uber, getting to 100%. We'll see what they're able to do, but they're only 4 players up. This is looking very good for the side of the Podcasters.
I want it to be known that Fog Ballistic with the GameCube controller just saved their beams alive with a crazy hero shot onto the Spy. Let it be known that they managed to stay in the fight because of that GameCube controller now. The What has been putting on a dominant performance on the heavy here, but they're looking to dial it back a little bit here potentially as they hug the cart and trying to inch this forward again as much space as possible. Cyber Wizard will find the free pick onto Gray as they're a little segmented from the rest of their team, trying to get over onto the flank, but they will not be successful. Fsos is going to be able to find a pick onto, I believe it was Mayabon. Now Great Blue falls to the Sentry. Cypherlock getting some value out of it. Heavy is low on the left, finds the health pack, but needs an arrow sometime soon, I would imagine. Does get taken down as the crit streak is used through with the demo crits as well, so this could be detrimental. So we're going to go, Engineer's going to fall down here. The Sentry's just sitting all on its lonesome, waiting for a pick to walk into it, but it does look like the crit will be held, or the push will be held. But
yeah, and I mean, Pope Squiddly goes down though. They're getting pushed into the pit. It's very gonna be very interesting to see how they're able to play off of that. Now only 3 players alive for the side of defense here for the side of red. They are gonna get a bit of a spawn wave. The cart is pushed up the hill though, but it looks like it's about to fall down any moment. And if the Podcasters are going to want that cart to not fall down the hill, it's going to though. They aren't able to get there in time, and looks like very solid hold from the side of red so far. They're able to reset, and I mean Ubers are equal for now. We'll see what Podcasters have playing next.
Yeah, I mean, the Podcasters here, the cart's rolling back, but they have a lot of time to work with. They nudge it, resetting the rollback timer. Sentry taken down to lock and load with that extra damage from the button round only there. Great Blue will fall, walking to on that pick. Fsos finds the pick on the Cypherlock. Mayabon will fall to the Sentry as well. Now Kaluka's going to be put up on the pick on the heavy. Bacon Ultimate is down. No Food is alive, gonna make this hold a little bit more difficult. There's only 2 players alive. It's Kegaman and Pope Squidly. They're gonna have to put it all on the field here if they want to defend this point. Kegaman going in as best as they can. They feed one to the grinder. Kaluka gets thrown, but at the end of the day, it's 5 points at 8:52 for the side of the podcasters. And now Joystick has to make this up with an excellent round of offense after the defense left a little bit to be desired.
I was gonna say 8:52, definitely a faster time than usual for a map as long as this. And I mean, honestly, it was looking like it was gonna be even faster. They did get slowed down quite a bit on blast, so this is definitely pushable for the side of Joystick, but they're going to have to come out guns blazing. We'll see what they have an ace up their sleeve, so to speak, to be able to get some early momentum, being able to chain first, second, you know, just one fight at a time. You have 8:52, just things need to be very solid for the side of Joystick if they want to actually be able to get this half.
Absolutely, and I mean, anything is possible if you put in the effort, and I do think that there is a real possibility that Joystick could turn this one around and secure themselves a win. They see the crit stickies, they know what's happening, and they're going to play accordingly. I do want to remind everybody that if you would like to donate, we are supporting the Child's Play charity just before we get this round on the road. So if you are able, we do highly encourage you to throw a handful of cash their way. But first round is underway. Raw playing on wood here. It does look like Cyber Wizard and Epsos will be taken down. Windex and Brick finding their picks respectively. Raw still playing by the rock that is next to the cart. Just getting some info. Not necessarily going for anything. Going up the right side here, has not decloaked just yet. Kegaman spy checking, trying to make sure. Crits coming out from the side of Great Juice as they try to find a pick. They're not going to be able to, as Mayavon finds. Actually, they will be able to. I stand corrected. Windex is found. The black box crits are going to be able to net them a kill. But Windex is already back up from the respawn, so it shouldn't be too difficult for a recovery here. It does look like Mayavon in behind. Grape Juice has an opportunity to go for a decloak here if they want to. Raw goes in for the pick on to Fog and will be successful. This is a slower start than what we saw the podcasters have. A minute already shaved off of the clock. And it remains to be seen if Joystick will be able to come back from this. But Kegaman, Pope Squiggly, and Bacon are all up in front of this sentry with the Uber. They do use it and they find the pick onto the sentry. Epsos will find the pick onto Fog Ballistic, rather, as Mayavon isn't really in a good spot to go for anything, but they're going to decloak and go for the pick. They're going to be able to find a butter knife, but they run away. Still alive on very low HP. The crits coming out from the side of Pope Squiggly, or sorry, from Grape Juice. Correction. As, wait a minute, Thermal Thruster Pyro from Great Blue.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, with Blue, they're having like Uber ad for as long of a duration as they did. They just weren't able to connect with their demo. Very sloppy there at the start of first, but it looks like they're going to be able to reset, getting some cart time. They're very close to being able to cap first with Gray and Brick on the point, being decked here by Pope Squiggly, but it looks like Cyber Wizard's trying to come in for the pick on the medic, is able to get him down to half, but is not able to finish off. And with Grape Juice going down to Mayavon as well as Fish Stick, it looks like Blue should be able to convert first here pretty comfortably, and with 6 minutes 30 seconds, that's definitely not an awful start to this offense.
Absolutely not. I mean, you do want to have a slightly faster, first point than this, but you can make up time in other areas. Not everything has to be faster across the board. You just have to be a little bit faster overall. Now, the Uber getting used from Pope Squiggly. They take Windex through. They're not going to be able to find anything just yet with the air pipe on to see Ravioli as he gets struggled up on the wall. Now they're chasing down the beam, trying to find the pick on the Grape Juice. The food is coming out from the window. They can be able to find the pick onto the beam. This is going to be very... Actually, no, they don't find the pick onto the beam. Grape Juice manages to live, even though they're on like 30 HP when that food is peaks. And they manage to survive. The what falls eventually, but now Grape Blue jumping in with the thermal thruster. Does get taken down by the side.
Yeah, with the medic also going down for the side of Blue, this push is going to be basically null and void. We'll see if they go for some kind of sack wave here or something to try and get Grape Juice to go down, but that task has been very difficult so far for the side of Joystick, for the side of Blue. Grape Juice doing an amazing job being able to live constantly throughout all these fights, as Mayavon looks like they're going to be going for a stab soon here, but game slowing down. Grape Juice with full ad, and we'll see how how Blue's going to try and get this force off.
Yeah, I mean, it should be interesting to see. Demo bombing in, Windex going to be getting a lot of damage, and that will net the force from the side of Grape Juice. That Stalking Bird coming out now as, admittedly speaking, gaining a lot of space here faster than the podcasters did on 2, but they're stagnating very, very hard in this little choke area here, which you saw the podcasters kind of roll through. So it's going to be able to find a pick on to Fog here. So no sniper up for the side of Joystick as trying to adjust this map here a little difficult. Brick will find the pick onto Essos, however, so no sniper for them now as they can maybe set theirs up for a good sight line wide. Wall will go down. Now Mayabon going in for the pick on the C. Ravioli will be able to find it. Now Great Blue sectioned off. Great stickies from Windex. That Uber is coming through. They're going to have to take down this nest, however, but it is getting spam repaired by the engineer. They need a full team to take this down. Windex able to find the stickies that connect. Mayabon will fall to the SMG of Essos, but then traded out immediately as Ray finds the pick. They've expended their Uber for this, but they have gained the point. They have 4 minutes 15 left to capture the remaining 3 points on the map, and they're making decent progress right now as they reset the podcasters pretty far back.
No, definitely still very good pace for the side of Joystick. 4 minutes for 3 points. They aren't going to be able to make too many more mistakes, but it's definitely still feasible. Grape Juice having ad, though, 30% ad, might be trying to take an Uber here on the Soldier and the Heavy. We'll see if they want to swing out or not, but it looks like the side of Joystick, they're playing very far back, trying to play around that sniper, as the Uber's going to be coming out on Sir Ravioli, trying to get the pick. Does get Bacon ultimate. Fish Stick does during that Uber, but it looks like they aren't going to get much else. Getting denied, and with the Scout trying to get in on Grape Juice, honestly, not an amazing Uber for the side of the podcasters, as Pope Squidly is just going to be able to have Uber taking this in. And with that Uber also getting denied, this is very back and forth. We'll see if they're able to convert this off of the post here, as they're able to get C. Ravioli and possibly Grape Juice.
Oh, they're definitely getting Grape Juice here. It looks like Windex going in for the melee kill. The half-zap will find a pick onto Grape Juice, and now that point flips as well. 3:12 left on the clock to capture the last 2 remaining points. This is definitely possible, but Raw is in onto Cypherlock. Kaluka finds the sentry. Brick will be able to find a pick onto Raw, and now Bacon Ultimate and Kegaman will fall. Now Brick falls as well, so Ravioli is going to be able to find a pick. Kaluka finds a pick on the Kegaman, as I mentioned prior, and this should slow down Joystick quite a bit. I don't know. Oh my goodness, and Efso is able to find a pick on a Pope Squidly here, so no beam alive for the side of Joystick, which will make things very, very difficult. Uber shouldn't be too crazy of a disad, but players being delayed, I mean, this is just not going to be great for the side of Joystick here, as they're pressuring in from the lower side. I believe I just saw Raw getting in from behind, so they do have an angle to potentially decloak somewhere if need be. They sap the Telly, and they're going for more futile sabotage than anything else. Telly will get saved. Raw still in the fight here. Gray will get taken down by the What. The Heavy's able to find that pick. Playing in this high ground spot here is going to be super, super strong. We need that sniper Fog to try and get through, but Raw is all over him and up in their business as they find a pick. Now they find a pick on a Bacon Ultimate as well. They find the Butter Knife on the Cypherlock, traded out as Gray is able to finally find that pick, but now Gray has to peek the sentry all on their lonesome. They find it. It's just a level 1. But now Fog peeking through finds the pick onto Kaluka. Great shot with the joystick, the GameCube controller. Sentry being rebuilt on the stairs to the right. Brick will find a pick on the Great Blue. No Pyro alive. Now Gray falls, no Soldier. Sentry's able to find that pick. Going to be a little bit of an chance for the side of joystick, but still definitely pushable for them as they try to get through this choke. But with a minute 26 left on the clock, time is looking dire. You need to make a push now, and you need it to be successful. You have to roll through the whole way through if you want any hope of converting this point. They're starting to get the cart over top of the ramp. Or not the ramp, the ledge here. Kegaman gets a double reflect kill, or a reflect kill, and the dispenser taken down. The Uber comes out from the side of Grape Juice as they pressure forward, but they've effectively lost this point.
Yeah, and with only a minute remaining, though, to cap last here, it's going to be almost impossible for Joystick to be able to get this, but never say never. I have seen more dire situations be able to be converted for the side of offenses. They're able to maintain that time through cap time. Fish Stick is going to be caught out, as it looks like the entirety of the podcasters are getting wrapped by the players on cart by the demo here, as Great Blue is trying to finish off the demo, is able to get that, as well as all the cart players with only 35 seconds left, not having Uber either. This is going to be very very difficult for Joystick to be able to get this card. With 27 seconds left, swinging onto the card, there's Gray being followed by Pope Squidly. We'll see Gray does go down, and that might just be it. With all the damage coming out 20 seconds, I don't see how Joystick is going to be able to push this.
I think we've entered garbage time here as Mayavon trying to get into heavy, looks away, inconspicuous, master of disguise, but we have entered garbage time here. There's no way that they can win this map, and it will go as a 3-0 in favor of Podcasters in terms of maps. But Joystick definitely did put up a stronger performance than we saw on Stormbreaker. They did their best. That's what matters at the end of the day. And truth be told, everybody's just here for fun. I mean, Fog Ballistics running the GameCube controller. We're just having a good old time here. And I mean, just kind of testing out these maps. And I think Joystick had a great performance. You know, a lot of blunders, a few mistakes here and there, but you know, they managed to recover, have some salvages that went their way. Unfortunately, they weren't able to cut down on the mistakes and blunders, and that kind of cost them this map here.
Yeah, I mean, looking at both sides, I mean, Windex definitely did a great job for this side of Joystick, but the What still being able to go 27-5, had an amazing game with that Hulon heater heavy. So I definitely big ups to both sides. I'm very I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that is going to be it for the first match, and I'm very, going into this next game, like, just, I mean, looking back, we'll see how the other teams want to handle it. But I was very happy with how both teams played there, and the podcasters, shout out to them for being able to win that first match.
Absolutely. I do believe we're going to data bank here. So even though the podcasters are up 2-0 in terms of maps, you know, looking at this as if it's a best of three, uh, they are up 2-0. If this were a situation where it was, you know, a playoff series, then it would be over right here. But I think we're going to be playing out the third map anyway, just so that Joystick can maybe get themselves some points, get themselves up on the board for day 2 tomorrow as we figure out who's going to be, you know, moving on here and there. Although we might be moving on. I'm not sure if this is, you know, considered a best of.
They aren't
Okay,
going to be playing the third map. It's
okay,
going to be
so it is
GG's.
considered a best of three here. So podcasters walk away with a 2-0. Almost blunder it on the payload map there, but they managed to stay within 1 point of the Dubski, and they will walk away from that in a 2-map victory. So now we move on to the next grouping of matches. Well, we will here in a little bit, I assume, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
Looking
I was gonna.
forward
I
to it
mean,
though.
being able to get to last there, but it was very competitive that second map. But it's going to be ending there as we're going to be moving on to the next match soon enough. I mean, on I believe this is the name of the map is as I'm trying to find it. It's
We are
uh,
on databank right now. That
Databank.
is the
Thank you,
Koth
thank
map.
you. I was gonna say, like, with the servers underneath the point, makes sense. Like the name of the
Yeah.
map, like the map in general, very with the winter aesthetic, very cozy looking. And yeah, we'll see how with the next match. It looks like they're probably gonna be starting on this map, going in the inverse order. We'll see how they're able to play it. But yeah, again, amazing first match, and big ups to both sides for playing this out for charity, for like one of the best causes you can play TF2 for. So great job on both of their ends, as it looks like we had a couple new donations come in. $2 from NeoCat3 and $10 from J-Bomb. Saying dog with red scarf. Not 100% sure what that means, but thank you so much for the donations. We get to $777. And I mean, getting close to 800, getting closer to 1,000. Very happy with how things are going.
It's the lucky number sevens. You know, we reached that point here. We are closer to $1,000 than I think a lot of people may realize here. I mean, just a couple more $10 donations would get us there, basically. I mean, Honestly, Child's Play is a great charity to be donating to. But before we do a little bit more of that, I believe we have some players coming in for some interviews.
It looks like first up we're going to be interviewing Brick and Maya Bond from the side of Joystick. Looks like they're going to be moved in now. Hello, how'd it go? How do you guys feel the games went? The maps. How you guys feeling this evening?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty
Feel
good. I think our team did as best as they could do. We didn't have I think the main problem was we didn't have very good synergy. Our team
Mm,
didn't really have I mean it was partly me cuz I didn't attend any of the scrims or any of the meetings cuz none of them just happened to align with my free time really for the most part. But we did actually get into a good a good flow in like the
a good rhythm.
second game. Yeah, we got into a good rhythm the second game. At the very
right.
end there, when we were pushing the cart, we got the match actually surprisingly close. Uh, and like we were feeling it. We were feeling the energy start to kick in, but by that it was like too late. I feel like if
Yeah,
we
well, too
kept
late.
that synergy, if we kept that energy in the first game, we would have done a lot better. But you know,
Mhm.
Yeah,
so that's why I think the real problem we weren't listening to each other's comms, a lot of the time. There was a lot of noise.
yeah. It was
Mhm.
it was pretty crowded. It was pretty crowded in there.
Yes, yeah.
Such is the case with Highlander.
Yeah, such is the case. But also, a couple of people were unfamiliar with the maps. I was, of course, not familiar with maps very much, but yeah, I got the gist of them pretty fast, so it didn't make it
Yeah.
worse. But overall, I think for the most part, it just comes down to like we didn't have very good synergy as a team. That's it.
Well, it happens. I mean, you say no synergy. Well, not very good synergy. Not no synergy, but not very good synergy. You
Yeah, not very good.
say unfamiliar with the maps. On the topic of the maps, obviously, like you said, you're not very familiar with the maps, or at least a couple of you aren't very familiar with the maps. But how did you guys feel with the maps? How did they play? Did you like how they flowed? Did you like them aesthetic wise? Were they visually pleasing? Give us your thoughts on the maps.
They were fantastic. I thought they were very good,
I
design wise, and oh, sorry, you can go.
uh, I personally think they go really well. They're just pretty momentum heavy. Once you start getting the ball rolling, it just doesn't stop till the other team finally gets everything back and holds back.
Yes, I do agree with that. Very
Mm,
momentum heavy. We
yeah.
we actually noticed this, and we were we can't all die. We can't all die, otherwise we're gonna get rolled for the whole game. That's basically how it went. But they were good. They were good maps.
Yeah.
Visually very, very interesting, especially the first map. I
Mhm.
loved all the planes flying around. That was and the background, like the skybox moving on. It was so nice.
Yeah, I was super excited to see that first map as well. I'm just disappointed I can't
Yes.
play on it, but
Uh,
maybe someday. Maybe someday.
maybe someday.
Soon enough.
Get the casters in there for one of the matches.
Yeah, just throw us in
Get the
there. Get two
casters
players
and
from one of the
skins.
teams and have them cast, then we go play in their place.
Yeah, man.
But
You'll be the civilian.
exactly, I'm
Make
unarmed.
it
Yes.
10v10.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The forbidden mode. But I
Forbidden.
guess do you have any questions for them, BBL?
None that I can think of. I mean, yeah, it was that second map was definitely very close. I mean, getting to last there and all that, but basically all you can ask for out of a payload map. So I'm pretty content. I mean, definitely some very beautiful maps that we've seen playing that we're going to be seeing soon enough. And shout out to you guys for, showing up for charity and thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, shout out to
Absolutely.
you,
And
casters. You're
I
putting in
guess
the work.
before we
Yeah.
send you guys
Exactly.
off, are there shout outs and parting words you guys would like to throw out real quick?
Thank you to everybody involved in this whole thing. As you know, as per usual, you guys did a great job setting it up, organizing, everything like that, and it's awesome. I like to show
Yeah.
up here for charity. It's for charity at all, so it's great. Everyone everyone probably had a good time. I had a great time.
I also had a great time.
All
Yeah.
right.
And shout out to my buddy let's underscore drink underscore Windex. He was very good.
Ah,
He was
of
very good in
course.
this game. Yeah.
Shout out to my friends Kyrie and Dawn. They helped me a lot with this.
Yeah.
All
Nice.
right. Well, sounds good. Thank you guys for stopping in here for the interview, and thank you guys for putting on a good show for the
No, yeah.
folks watching at home. We are gonna have to shuffle you out here so we can get the next couple of interviewees in, which will be Cyber Wizard and C Ravioli of the Podcasters.
Hey
Hello,
everyone.
hello. Welcome to the Super Secret Streaming Channel. How did you guys
Ooh.
feel about the games today? How did you guys feel about the maps? Give us your thoughts. What was it like
Sarah,
playing?
you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'll go first. I liked the maps a lot more from the testing, I think. I don't know if it was we were more coordinated. I think they tweaked the CP map a little bit, but I enjoyed the maps. And then we had good teamwork today, so it worked out pretty well. Good time all around, I think.
Yeah. I loved it. I thought the second map, especially, like I loved the change, adding the other point. That made it super fun. I think it was a great map to play. The first one as well, was that's like genuinely one of my favorite maps in the game at this point. Like I hope they add that because it's so
Oh
fun to
yeah,
play
no,
on.
I love the blip
Mm,
map.
Yeah, I like that. And yeah, I think it was good. Like like Cyber said, we had good team synergy. I think a lot of it comes down to just like generally having good vibes and just like chatting it up. And I mean my strategy was I didn't play very well to be honest, but my strategy was just say, okay, grape juice, what's next? And then just listen to what grape juice said and just do that. But it worked out well enough. So
Yeah, Grape Juice was
yeah,
like
fair
leading
enough.
the charge when he was medic, so like we'd be like just like glopping around him sometimes, not knowing what to do.
yeah. Also the what was like crazy carrying on heavy
Oh
as
yeah, no,
well.
I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
expect him to like
That
be
was
doing that much work.
insane. Yeah.
what was going crazy?
He went like
It was
26
wild.
and 2 in like just the first round or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's insane.
they were doing a lot there, but
Yeah.
I guess like we asked the previous teams, obviously you guys say you liked playing the maps. How were they like visually to you? Obviously you like playing them, so I'm sure you liked how they looked and everything like that. But I mean, how did they look to you? And also, you say that your general strategy was just to do grape juice. What's the plan?
Yeah.
But like, surely there's a little bit more to it than that, right?
I feel like that was like the base of the plan, but like we still like Ra was really good at like calling like where things were, and he got a lot of really good
Mhm.
like sap coordinations. Like
Mhm.
I don't think we would have won that first game quite as dominantly, at least if Ra wasn't like constantly like calling everything out, calling like when he's sapping and stuff, because I was able to get once the gun was sapped, I was able to just go in and like destroy on scout for the most part. Um
Mhm.
and then the rest of our team just flooded in, so it was good. But
Yeah.
we had like grape juice as like a backbone to like fall back on to like kind of set up like the general location of stuff. Um,
Right.
Yeah. I
yeah,
think
sure.
to answer your first question, I think the maps were really good looking as well. The first one is I love the vibes in the first one especially. And the second one was solid. Like it felt very TF2. It was good. And then yeah, as Cyber said for like strategies, I definitely agree that Raw did a lot of work just like making callouts, especially on the first map where like Cyber was saying, it's like, okay, sapping, 3, 2, 1, sap, and then immediately it's like, okay, flood in. We use on the demo heavy combo, and then just like spawn camp them and do all that. Like it's just
Mhm.
it was a pretty good consistent strategy. Like just playing around the map and discussing a little bit beforehand in the pregame, just jumping around, being like, all right, after we cap mid, this is where we go. We go upper, and then we take left, or we do this. You know what I mean? Just discussing like different strats to pull out.
Yeah,
So
it was
it
fun.
was pretty good. I felt very prepared going into it.
Yeah, and then just
Awesome.
adding on to the details of the, I liked the first map visually especially. Um, I don't know, I
Yeah.
love the style that goes, and I think it's really cool. Just like being able to fall out of the ship and having like all that ground beneath you that you just fall into.
Yeah.
Because that was just something unique. And then the second map I liked a lot too. It definitely felt like something I would see in like the casual rotation as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're
Very
both
good.
good maps.
Maybe one day Valve will add that map to the casual rotation. If we beg
Fingers
and plead them
crossed.
enough, they might.
Yeah.
No,
But,
I
maybe
hope.
maybe for
Also,
the heavy update or something, the MVM
Oh, true,
update.
I also like the Koth map. I don't we didn't get to play that one today, but that one's like I love that map so much as well. That's really good. It's a fun
All
one.
right. Well, BBL, do you have any questions for these fine folks?
No, most things were covered. I mean, any shout outs or parting words you guys have? Anyone you wanna give their flowers, so to speak, before we move on?
Can I call someone out?
Uh sure.
General Alias, I'm coming for you, buddy. You're gonna if he doesn't get any milk stabs, I won't say any more on that. But if he doesn't get any milk stabs, it's not gonna be a good time for him. I'm
Is it
hoping
on
for his
site?
sake that he gets some milk stabs. Exactly, it's on site, General Alias. Watch out, buddy.
Got some beef going on already.
Oh yeah.
Goodness me.
Oh, he's cooked. He's cooked. Tell him he's lucky I'm not on soldier. Yeah, washed at demo man. I don't know how to play this damn
If-
class.
If he comes in for an interview at some point, we interview him. We got you. We'll let him
Yes,
know.
yes.
Let him know.
Thank you.
But
Hell yeah.
yeah, thank you guys for coming in here for the interview. Thank you guys for putting on a great show for that first match here. But we are gonna have to shuffle you out for the time
Sounds
being.
good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank
Of
you.
course. Right, and not really sure where we're going from here. I don't know if we're going straight into the next games, the next matches, or we're taking a brief break, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what the tech is here. But I believe we have Gray.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Gray. I hear you have some comments.
Oh, I didn't really have anything. I just wanted to come and say hi, and
No, of
I
course.
just wanted to say good game. It was very fun.
Yep. We'll permit you to be.
Yeah, we'll allow it, I guess.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure personally that everyone is shouted out in this event, especially the staff. That's kind of why I wanted to bring Gray in. And a little bit later, I want to get Entropy and Jazzy in as well. Everyone on the helper side did phenomenal doing stuff when management was otherwise away. So I just wanted to give a special shout out to you guys. Definitely helped them out tremendously, making sure things ran as smoothly as possible.
Thank you.
Round
Yeah,
of
of course.
applause. Everybody in chat,
I'll
you need to start
also,
clapping right now.
I'll also quickly shout out Scary Broccoli, who did the background B-roll footage for the maps, it looks awesome.
It's cool. Yeah, no,
Sick.
it looks great.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting B-roll of maps that are already very, very pretty. So I mean, it's kind of hard to mess it up. You could have the camera wobbling around in like 4 different directions at once, and I still think it would make for great B-roll. So, but
Yeah, I mean, these maps are just beautiful. So.
oh yeah, no doubt in my mind. But I guess now we're just waiting for the next couple of matches to start.
I was gonna say, I mean, the next teams that we're gonna be seeing are the Grill Masters going against the Australium Experience. It'll be very interesting to see. Trying to look at. I don't know if we're going over rosters just yet, but taking a little sneak peek, I recognize quite a few of these names. So
Gander.
familiar with these teams slightly more than the other ones. And I mean, starting out with the only map that we haven't seen so far on the NA side of things, you know, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fresh. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking a little look. See, I see some people I recognize as well as very strong, very capable players. So I'm very interested to see what that matchup is going to bring for us whenever we get there. But I guess we've got the downtime. I'm encouraging you all. We've got $777 out of the goal of 2,000. We are this close to 1,000. If we can reach 1,000, After the grand final, there will be an unusual giveaway to those who are active after the grand final concludes. If you would like to donate, there's a link on screen. There's a QR code. You can type !donate in the Twitch chat to get a link all to the Tiltify page, and your donations will be read aloud. But,
Yeah, and I mean it's for a great cause for Child's Play, you know, like what's not to like, but looks like we have a little bit of downtime in between now and the next match. So we're gonna be taking a 5-minute brief intermission, you know, reset, grab some water, and we'll be seeing you shortly. See you guys in a couple.
Welcome back, everybody, to day one of Seasonalander Winter 2026. We've got the final matches of the day coming up for you here. But just before that, we do have some donations that have come through. First and foremost, Hunt Xter with $33 dropped for the cause, brought us up to 810. And then the man, the myth, the legend, to tie the highest donation by AimTech with $100 is Kega Man, Kega Beast, Kega Go, saying hashtag for the kids 6767676767. Thank you, Kega Man. You the goat. We all love you here, Kega. But now that that's out of the way, we've got the last match of the day coming up with Grill Masters and the Australian Experience. It is still me, Eki, and It's still Eki, BBL, and Airballer in the booth for this upcoming match. I'm feeling pretty good about it. We've already talked about how some of the players on here we know, and they're going to be strong. This one's probably going to be an even better showing than the first one. How are you feeling about it tonight?
I mean, I definitely recognize these players a little more than I do the other ones. I'm seeing some very good TF2 players on both of these teams, so I'm very excited to see. Looks like we're going to be starting off on the map we started on last time, being
we'll be on Stormbreaker for our first
Stormbreaker.
map here, so
the blimp, the beautiful blimp,
the beauty.
So I'm definitely very excited to see these teams play.
Oh, yeah, I'm very excited about this as well. And while we've got the time here, let's go over these rosters really, really quickly. So for the Grill Masters, we've got J-Puck on. Let me scooch over here. J-Puck will be your Scout. Deputy 7 will be your Soldier. Crom will be your Pyro. Pork the Chop will be your Demo. Critical Beef will be your Heavy. Engineer Gaming will, of course, be the Engineer. Scary Broccoli will be your Beam. Minty T21 will be your Sniper, and Stabs will be your Spy.
Yeah, just to make a super quick correction, it's actually going to be Holy Onyx.
Oh, right, yeah, Holy Onyx is ringing in there. I think Gray
unfortunately
is ringing in on Sniper as well.
Yeah, we have a Gray Sniper from the first match coming in to clutch to save the day. Unfortunately, Minty was not able to show, and then Holy Onyx is going to be the Scout for the Grill Masters. But now, moving on to the Australian Experience, you have Jolly on Scout, JPEG on Soldier, Shalil on Pyro, Fountain Man on Demo, Pale B Heavy, Okfi on Engineer, Pride Medic, Paul Per Sniper, and General Alias is going to be rounding us off with a Spy. And I definitely two very, very good teams for a great cause. I mean, we're getting close to that $1,000 mark, halfway to the end goal of $2,000. Definitely hoping to hit it before the end of this match, as well as everyone playing. And thank you guys so much for being here. But yeah, I mean, Eki, these very good teams that we're going to be seeing play shortly.
Absolutely. And like you said, we're at $910 out of the $2,000 goal. We are $90 away from the unusual giveaway that will happen after the grand final. It'll be given out to those who are actively chatting after the grand final has finished. It'll be selected from one of those there. If you'd like to donate, links are on screen. ! Donate in the chat, and the QR code up in the top left when we are on this intermittent screen. But we are going live to the first round of this matchup here between the Grill Masters and the Australian Experience on Stormbreaker. We're going to be starting it off fast with a free pick from Gray onto Palter as they find the headshot right off the bat. The opening pick from the Sniper onto the Sniper. Things are going to be going real crazy here. Critical Beef falling already. Actually going to be able to find that pick.
It looks like they're going to be, Blue here is going to be solidifying on the point. Should be able to get those off the back of Gray, getting that very early Sniper pick. Great shot coming out as Pork the Chop does actually go down, as well as Gray and Crom going down to General Alias with the 2K on Spy. A lot of spam coming out as well from the side of Red, and it looks like being down 5, now 6. Scary Broccoli being one of the last players alive that and it looks like Scary Broccoli hopefully can live here, but what looked like was going to be 100% definitive for Blue is now flipped over to red and now having full Uber ad. We'll see how Blue's able to defend this, but it's looking very dire because red is going to be on the point. We'll see if they're able to defend this.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they're able to defend this. There's a little bit of cap time, but it does look like they have the numbers coming up to defend. Gray finds a shot onto Jolie, so that'll set them back a little bit. But that's 3 picks there. Gray, Deputy, and Chrome both go, or all 3 go down. JPEG going to be able to find that final pick here. And now, with a little bit of player advantage, they should be able to find some space on last, or at least keep that pressure up. Ubers are even here, so should amount to a great fight here. But General Alias going to be able to find Engineer Gaming and Critical Beef here. That's an Engineer and a Pudis going down. So they will not be able to hold as effectively, but with Pelpy down as well, there is no Pudis up for the side of the Australian experience. So it shouldn't be too much of an advantage. Nice reflect from Shleg onto the top. Gray finds a headshot, and now holding on, able to find the pick on the Fountain Man. A little bit more cap time coming through as there is a scout and a soldier. Now the whole team dropping to defend the point. They're able to hang on just a little bit longer.
I mean, with how long this point can take to cap, them trickling in is unfortunately not going to be able to win it for the side of the Australian experience. It looks like Gray is going to be able to win not win SVS, sorry, get the heavy pick actually, as they're trying to push out a mid. We'll see, playing off the back of those picks, if they're able to push through, but they seem to be a little disconnected as JPEG is able to get the force on last. Great play from JPEG on Soldier there. Hope not able to live, but gets the Uber out. Pride also had to use to the players on point, and it looks like we're going to be resetting. Both teams not having Uber and barely any picks coming out.
Yeah, they do give up a little bit of space on the side of the Australian experience. They might drop Shalil here, but they do manage to find a pick off the stab, so that'll give them a little bit of time. But Engineer Gaming trades it up. They find Paul Per, but now that's traded out as Jolie finds a pick on a Deputy with the help of Shalil as well. So a lot of great team synergy going on there. Jolie does fall. Critical Beef is able to find that pick. They do know that the spy should be somewhere on the flank. They did bump him. They know that they're around, but where that spy is, they have no idea. Sniper gets a headshot onto somebody. I believe it was Gray finding a shot onto Pale B. Well, the Onyx going to be able to find that pick now as well. So no clues alive. For the side of the Australian experience should make it a little bit easier for the side of Grill Masters to try and push on through, and they're getting a little bit of presence on this point. They got to do half cap. They're ready to flip it here. I do believe General Alias looking for a window to decloak, but this Uber is going to use over top of the point, so too is the counter from the side of the Australian experience. They're trying to find as many tickets as possible as they can. They're going to be able to find Deputy, Stabs, Gray, and Holy Onyx is a 4-4-0. Actually, I guess it's a 4-for-1 as they lost Paul Per, but they seem to be a little bit disconnected from the Uber. Crom falls as well, so Shalil is able to find a pick and capitalize in the post. And they will hold on to mid, the Australian experience, as they look to push into last.
With that heavy there, actually going down, General Alias is able to get Critical Beef on heavy, so no heavy or pyro for Blue here trying to defend. We know multiple places is going to make it difficult, but it looks like red here, it looks like the Australian experience is not going to have the players. The Stabs gets a quick 2K in on both the pyro and the heavy, so both spies are doing a lot of work for both teams here, trying to also get a pick on JPEG as he's able to trade out with the soldier. A bunch of on-box is actually happening as well from the side of Holy Onyx, but again, very slow game so far. Pride does go down, so it's going to be full ad for the side of the Grill Masters. Hopefully they're able to convert this to push, but they have to be careful. JPEG being down though is going to make this a lot easier for them to be able to finish off getting the cap.
They also don't have to worry about General Alias, who had fallen off of the map just a couple seconds ago. Now Paul Per falls. Gray's going to be able to find that pick. We're going to be taking over the point. They're trying to find as many picks as possible, but there's nothing here for them to really net. Some good damage from Crom onto the demo here. Going to be getting a lot of good value out of that. Or sorry, not the demo. I believe that was the Switcher down there. I could not make it with the silhouette, but good bomb from JPEG to find the market garden onto Deputy. They will get traded out as Crom finds that pick, but hey, they got their one at the end of the day. That's not really. But now push coming through from the side of the Grill Masters. They have one player advantage here, but they do need to be careful. It does look like General Alias is decloaked and finds the pick onto Pork the Chop. The demo is out of the equation. Now Paul Per finds the pick on the Gray to headshot. Yes, he has lost by Gray on the back pedal. Now looks like the Blues will fall sometimes in the club. Jolie going to be able to find the pick up a Critical Beef. They do have to back out onto the point on the side of Grill Masters. but not a lot of aggression, or not as much. Wait a minute, though, as Shalil is able to get in on top of the teleporter and the dispenser. Now Sentry being taken down. Players are segmented, isolated, taken away from their team, but a lot of good damage coming in from Chrom. They get a nice reflect, but none of that reflect really matters when the Spy gets in. They manage to make the beam use with no Uber target, and now they're body blocking. But Shalil in behind, tries to get the pick onto Stabs, juggles them up into the air, should fall. No, they will survive with 5 HP through the choke. And now things looking like they're starting to die down a little bit. The action finally dwindling.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pride getting forced there after losing all of their players was very unfortunate. It'll which will allow these things to slow down a little bit to reset. Scary Broccoli here with 25 ad. We'll see if he's able to convert that into something useful as Paulper goes down to Gray, losing SVS. We're gonna be seeing a lot of blue here. A lot of the Grill Masters trying to get up on this upper balcony, so they're able for them to eventually be able to drop down. As Gray's able to get another pick on the demo. Both demo and Sniper being down, it's gonna make this hold fairly difficult as Gray's continuing to swing, taking this swing here into Shalil, seeing if they can get the pick on anything, but it looks like they're going to slow down 85%. JPEG trying to go in for something, gets completely explodes.
Space program.
Yeah, with a little bit of back cap going on in the background. Ubers are about to come out as well, with Scary Broccoli getting the use on Pork the Chop, but it looks like they aren't fighting a whole lot. Finally getting the gun down as well as the engineer. We'll see if the cap is going to be able to come out ×5, ×7, and that might be enough for them to be able to finish off this point, and the first round is going to go to the Grill Masters. Off of that Uber onto Pork the Chop. Very good push for the side of blue.
Absolutely, very well played. We do have a donation that came in from McChicken for $10, and I know who ain't winning, Hard Eyes. So thank you for the $10. That puts us at 920 out of 2,080 away from the unusual giveaway at the end of the grand final. But now we move on to the second mid of the game. One round in favor of the Grill Masters. Gray balls early. Paulper going to be able to find the first take of this round.
Yeah, and I mean,
very weak. Like General Ilias is in behind. Could go for a decloak at some point, but that Pyro's unlocked. Gets in behind, beats the bed stab, and will get air blasted away. Chrom and Engineer Gaming could be tag teaming to find that there.
Yeah, and I mean, with the Spy not being a factor anymore, as well as the Sniper, they don't really have to worry about angles or turning around. As Foundman's going to be getting a lot of damage up on this upper balcony. The blue Grill Masters are not gaining a lot of room as Pride goes down to Stabs in the back. So no met for the side of the Australian experience as they're desperately trying to see what picks they could get out. Chrom and Deputy both go down, but it might be too little too late as they're blue off of the back of Stabs getting that med pick is going to be able to cap mid. Jolie trying to get in though, trying to force Scared Broccoli and is able to. Blue's able to cap, but at what cost? Cost being your med forces, and it looks like the game might go back to a bit of a slugfest on with the blue having the point here.
This is possible. A little bit of cap time happening on the last point here. Holy Onyx just nudging it to see if they can, coax anybody out of the spawn or maybe get some position. But it looks like that's going to be possible. Holy Onyx will now fall to a rocket from JPEG, helped by Jolie. As they're down 3 players, they don't really have to wait for Holy Onyx to come back up. They do find the pick onto Stabs. Jolie finds that one. So now they do kind of have to wait a little bit. With Pork the Chop being down as well, that's pretty detrimental. Now Gray falls. Paulper with a nice shot onto the Sniper of the Grill Masters. Fountain Man will go down. Now General Alias will fall. Chrom going to be able to find that now. Engineer Gaming trying to save that TP, but will get taken down by Pale B as they pressure out. The Spy in behind. Sorry, not the Spy in behind. The Pudis in behind, trying to do what they can. Pale B will fall. So no heavy up for the side of the Australian experience, but they do have an opportunity to continue to hold here. But that Uber going to get used through the top left here as they pressure through the spawn. Pyro solo Uber through the spawn. They managed to find the Engineer nest and take down basically everything. A little bit of cap time to do, but it's at the end of the Uber. Spy getting down. General Alias going to be able to find a pick on the Triple Beast, going to be falling to Stabs and find a pick as well. Gray finding that pick onto JPEG. No soldier alive for the sign of the Australian experience. They are getting a player ad at the Grill Masters for the time being. Jolie goes in and feeds for Pork the Chop, but they get their one. Goes down to the Sentry, but no demo. Part of the equation for Grill Masters. They got to play back. It's going to be another slug.
I was going to say, I mean, blue with that Uber there, they weren't able to get any cap time until after the Uber had already faded, so it was very tough for the side of blues. Pride is actually going to get forced out to Holy Onyx on Scout as Pride is going to be very low. General Alias is able to get the pick on the Engineer though, as well as the gun sap, so it's going to be fairly a couple of picks coming on both sides. Not 100% sure which way it's going to be going, as Holy Onyx does go down to Jolie, the scout, as Jolie is trying to get in
Jolie
on
is
Scared
hunting.
Broccoli.
So to his
is able to
JPEG.
get the pick, and with Gray and Scared Broccoli going down, I'm not sure how Blue is going to be able to hold on to mid.
Yeah, I don't think holding on to mid here is an option unless you have some kind of crazy solid play from Stab. Which, I mean, you got the pick on the Pride, but you don't have, you know, you don't have any space. You don't have player ad. You can't really do anything, realistically speaking. And JPEG finds that pick onto Stab's World kind of resting on their shoulders there. So just unfortunate situation that they found themselves in. Now, we do have General Alias in behind, goes for the decloak. Beef does notice it, and so too does the rest of the team immediately after. They're trying to hunt him down, but Spy has not yet been found. There's a scout down in the lower boiler room area. Spy's down there as well, caught out by Holy Onyx. General Alias will fall very late. Does take a lot of resources away from the mid point, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. No real aggression being shown from either team here. They're both playing back. Deputy will fall to Jolie. And now Jolie up behind, getting in onto the boot, is getting a lot of great damage on the critical beef. He does not register. The scout absolutely decimating the problem fall to JPEG as well. But what a shot from Gray onto Jolie, and well-deserved taunt. The NS dropped in chat. You cannot even get mad at that. That is pure skill right here.
That was a beautiful shot, and with 20, well, it was 20 ad, looks like it's going to be evened out, but never mind, as Gray gets the pick on Pride, is able to continue to make value for their team, as Scared Broccoli is going to be using on the point. They aren't able to get much out of that Uber. They do get Fountain Man, so they're down 3, and it looks like just, I mean, even with the picks that Gray was able to create, they should be able to get the point here. Scared Broccoli is going down to very low HP with Shalil running down. Scared Broccoli is able to get the bed pick. Red might be able to hold on to this after all, as it's getting very scrappy on the point. Both meds going down at some point during that fight. Afterwards, it looks like Pride is going to have slight Uber ad for this upcoming fight, as Blue is able to get the point, but losing your medic, it's like it's very tough, and it looks like it's going to be fairly easy for Red to be able to recap the point.
Back and forth here on this midpoint, way more back and forth than the previous matches we had covered, and I think they were very much right. This match is very momentum heavy. You have to try and snowball, because if you don't, things tend to not go your way. Now there's 7:30 left in the round timer, I assume, before it resets and we move on to the next round, where everybody's trying to fight the mid, and have that snowball. Teams are kind of just trading spam over the point right now. Sentries are set up, TPs are set up. Gray does find the ham kill on the Paul first, so that will be beneficial for the side of the Grill Masters. They'll try pressure forward. They're going to be able to find Fountain Man, General Alias, and JPEG. Now they're trying to find as many picks as possible. Sentry goes down on the side of Grill Masters. They're not really going to be able to hold much longer if they keep this up, but they do have that player advantage, so should be relatively easy. Gray is in lower, doing their best to try and find as many picks as possible. Does look like Jolie and Paulper trying to find something. Pork the Chop will find the Sentry. And it is still firmly in control by the Grill Masters as they try to inch their way forward toward last. Critical B finds the pick on a General Alias once more. LB falls as well. Now, the Uber coming in from the top left side. Sentry getting taken down. Just a level 1, but that's still a significant threat if you don't deal with it, and they do deal with it. Now, players dropping down on top of the point. It is just Trom trying to fight it. Holy Onyx will fall as well. Now the waterfall from the rest of the team as they try to land on top of the point, but it's too little, too late. Deputy will fall. Jolie finds the pick onto the soldier. Now the demo and the beam forced back out from the top right, or top left rather. And Gray trying to go in for some kind of hero shot maybe, but finds nothing. There is no point converted. Didn't even make it to halfway on the cap.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the Uber came out from the side of the Grillmasters very early on into that push, so not being able to use a whole lot of that to get many picks besides the gun. And Australian Experience have been doing an amazing job at being able to kite these Ubers and continue to maintain control over last as they're trying to take mid at this point off of Shalil. The Uber coming out, able to get a couple of picks while Scary Broccoli and Critical Beef are still down now, just coming out, but it looks like the point is going to flip back into the favor of the Australian Experience unless something odd happens in these final seconds of the point being capped. And Pride only have slight ad. This is very much a war of attrition. Neither team being able to really find anything major to go off of. There are quite a few picks, though, coming out for the side of their Australian experiences. JPEG is in on Scary Broccoli, is able to finish off the pick. Down 5 now for the side of the Grill Masters. The Pork the Chop being very, very low. We might see Australian experience getting their first round. Pork the Chop is able to get the med pick at the back, though.
But that cap time is still very much in their favor, but they're dropping like flies as they're segmented. They have no heals. Engineer almost dies to Fountain Man, but Engineer Gaming able to find that pick with the Widowmaker in tow, and so they managed to hold on to their last point. A bit, a bit scary, but they do manage to hold on. General Alias does manage to find a pick there. I do believe he found a pick. Well, I'm not sure who he was able to find the pick on. I think it was Deputy we got the pick onto. JPEG going to be able to find the pick on Gray. Holy Onyx finds a teleporter, manages to take that down. Now Critical B finds the pick onto, however you say that guy's name. I am not entirely sure. Holy Onyx finds the pick of his own. And now it kind of just, we're stalemating yet again on mid here. We do have JPEG pressuring forward to try and get some damage through. But I mean, as it stands right now, it's just a stalemate. People are kind of just trading spam back and forth, and well, it's just gonna boil down to, can we get out on the mid? Can we play back? Do we have to play back? I mean, you're weighing all your options if you are the Grill Masters here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, now down 2 for the Grill Masters, as the Uber's going to be coming out for their Australian experience, trying to see if they could get anything, as Holy Onyx does go down to the gun, and Critical Beef getting sniped by Paul Purr, so not having many players for this post is going to be the Grill Masters, but they do have their spawn. They are going to be able to get to the point faster if required, and it looks like that it's going to stalemate yet again. Engineer Gaming does go down, though, to Paul Purr as well as Stabs, so they still have a few picks, but not on the super important classes that you might want down, not on the medic, not on the demo. So we'll see if they want to continue trying to push this and get something off this momentum, or if they're going to cut their losses, as a bunch of picks are coming out from both sides. It's going to continue, the point's going to continue to try and be capped, it looks like, as Pride is getting very low, down to 30 HP with 80%, not having just yet, barely being able to live, but not anymore, as Holy Onyx with Pork the Chop able to get that pick, and now it's a complete wipe for the side of the Australian experience, and I would be shocked if the Grill Masters bare minimum can't get mid off of that. Maybe this is what they needed to finally be able to secure that second point. Maybe this is the momentum starter that they needed.
Yeah, there's a sentry watching mid that is preventing the Grill Masters from pushing in a little, more than they'd like. And that Uber does get forced out from the Stickies and JPEG coming in from lower. So now they have to try and push forward, but there's nobody there to Chariot to be, fourth with the demo. So they don't get anything out of that Uber. Gray does manage to find a pick on a Shulil, but I mean, at the end of the day, we need more than that. Prom takes themselves out. Pork the Chop will find the pick onto Paul Purr. There is a little bit of cap time, but nothing that is actionable at this point in time.
Yeah, and also, by the way, Airball, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Our producer coming in clutch, getting us now to $60 away from the $1,000 goal. Great job. As Holy Onyx trying to get a little bit of cap time, is not able to get much of anything immediately going down. Jolie and Deputy 7 both going down now for the side of the Grill Masters, as Pork the Chop gets stabbed, and Scary Broccoli does get a saw, though, it looks like, so slight ad for the side of the Grill Masters, but not having the players necessary to take this Uber, and it looks like they're just going to try and reset and maintain mid. Scary Broccoli going down to very low HP. It looks like it's going to be able to live this, though, and yeah, it's going to be pretty stalematey again on the point, both, with both level guns up. It's really difficult to push on this map if you can't, maintain that pick ad.
You can't snowball it. It is very hard to push here, I am noticing. So it might be something that these teams have to consider, is that they've got to keep snowballing. And I think something else we'll notice is there's no game timer. There's no match timer. This goes until a team hits that third round. This goes until one team wins 3 rounds. So, we might be here for a little bit if neither of these teams can, snowball. If it resets, I assume we just reset to another mid. JPEG going for the market garden onto Gray. Doesn't manage to find the follow-up picks. Now gets to stand around the corner, but has to allocate a lot of their time to it. Scary Broccoli trying to find Pork the Chop will be successful. They attach the beam. They hold on to their Uber, but they pop too late, and Pork the Chop is hanging. Will fall. and now the pieces are all coming together for the side of the Australian Experience. As they get that Uber out, they've got a little bit of cap time on the side of Grill Masters on the Australian last, but whoever is there does manage to get taken down. And we're going to be seeing another stalemate on mid as both teams really just try to figure out what the best route to push is here.
Yeah, with a bunch of fights back and forth, bunch of unboxes happening in chat, seeing a couple of Nando Gray items come through, as the players are just trying to figure out something to do here, as it looks like the Australian Experience very close to capping mid, but they might not be able to finish it off, being down 4 now, losing Pale B, Pulpor, General Alias, and JPEG. Still having their gun though, so they might be able to at least maintain being able to peak mid, but it looks like they're going to lose that too off the swing from Perk the Chop, so Shalil be the only person on point trying to back cap, is not able to finish it off, trying to get the pick on the medic, gets the force, which is great for the side of the Australian Experience there, getting that Uber out, as it looks like we're going to be stalemating yet again. They're able to maintain the point though, the Grill Masters are, as they're trying to slowly now peek into the last of the Australian Experience. Steph getting a great pick, Pulper also going down. We'll see if this is it, but it looks like we might be hitting another reset.
Absolutely, and I think just map-wise here, you know, we can analyze the gameplay all we want. We can do what we want with that, you know, say what you will. But at the end of the day, this is a lot of time spent stalemating on mid. Match timer definitely would help quite a bit. So that's not necessarily map-wise. It's maybe more config-wise, but. Yeah, definitely might want to look into a round timer of sorts for future, but yeah, this map just, it's very snowbally. If you're not able to snowball, you're not going to be able to get through. And I think that's the case for a lot of Highlander maps, especially in the control point game modes, and it's very snowbally. It's just because there's so many people. It's the same way in pubs, but I mean, every match, you know, becomes like that at some point, especially when you've got two teams with as many great people on them as we do here. But in about 15 minutes, we will go to a best of 3. So so it's basically a golden cap. So whichever team gets to 2 rounds 1 will walk away with the dub here. So there's no official match timer set up on the thing, but we do have, you know, a hard time limit that has been, you know, a line has been drawn in the sand. So.
I mean, after this, we have up to 2 more maps to go through, so we need to. Yeah. We might be here till day 2 if the game keeps up with this pace. Very, very slow, very sluggish. Greg going down to Paul Purr in the SVS, and we'll hopefully we can see some coordination between the teams, and maybe being able to get a collapse on one of the maps. Both teams having either means that it's powder keg at this point, as the Uber is going to be coming out first for the side of the Australian Experience, getting a couple of picks. Next Uber coming out as Paul B is going to be Pale B is going to be pushed into the pit there. And yeah, I mean, a couple of picks coming back and forth, but nothing super solid, nothing to really sink your teeth into. And we're back to square 1, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, we keep saying it, sounded like a broken record at this point, but it is a very snowballing map. You have to have that momentum if you want to break through, and unfortunately, neither of these teams can find it. Now, wait a minute, Shalil is getting in, but Klom spots it, chases down the Pyro for the pick, gets some damage on the Pale B. Not able to be mopped up, though. Critical B will fall to Jolie as well, so 4 players down, rather, for the side of Grill Masters. Potentially more here very soon. Scary Blockley is levitated up into the air and will get taken down by the Siggies from Fountain Man. That is the beam down from the side of the Grill Masters. And they're going to be struggling to get back in it after that one. Midpoint flips in favor of the Australian Experience, so there has been some progress made across the board. And it'll be up to fate, I guess, at this point to see if they can get through. But Pride is taken down by Gray. A nice shot, so Med trades, and that'll give a little bit of advantage in the Uber department for the side of the Grill Masters. But space-wise, it leaves a lot to be desired. They don't have anything really going for them in terms of space on mid as Gray now falls to JPEG.
Yeah, and I mean, you do have the slight ad now, so we'll see once Scared Broccoli is able to get Uber if they're able to do something off of it. Really trying to figure out if they're whatever advantage they can find, if they're able to capitalize off of it, because it seems like both teams are just able to turn these fights into really scrappy, just back and forths, with not really much room being like gained on both sides. As Grill Masters are going to be trying to hold last here. The point did finally flip a little bit ago, so very, very good for the side of the Australian experience for getting their first point possibly, but looks like they're just going to be chilling out 95%, and we'll see if they're going to try and take this Uber and if they're going to let it even out and chill on last.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what's probably going to happen here. I would like to see an aggressive Uber being taken with this ad. I mean, you have the opportunity to try and start a snowball, but you need to act soon. Your ad is running out. They'll lose Holy Onyx to General Alias. The Spy gets way too close to the beam for comfort, and they use over the pipe. Now, Demo chasing in behind, going to be able to get some damage onto Pride, but they will not be able to find that pick. Full Uber dis ad at this rate for the side of the Grill Masters, the Australian experience. Pride still looking for somebody to heal and latch onto, so not building Uber out as fast as I think they'd like to. JPEG finds the pick on a great force to chop, finds a sentry, so that does maybe buy the Grill Masters some time, but now Pride finds a heal target. They'll be able to pressure forward, and now they have that Uber. They could potentially start a snowball if they position themselves carefully. Taking the Shalil Uber through the point. They're going to be able to find the pick on a Scary Broccoli, potentially going to be able to find the pick on a Critical Beat as well, and that's not even a potentiality at this point. It is guaranteed, but now Pride left on their lonesome strong should be able to find the pick. Afterburn should seal the deal here. 6 HP, and they fall to the Afterburn, but not before they're able to find the arrow pick onto Crom. And
yeah,
now,
no, I was going to say that Uber is looking very good. Possibly seeing like Australian experience be able to get their first point, but Pride on the backup gets cut out by 3, and unfortunately Matt Knowledge is not able to find the pack in time. That was just unfortunately to their left on the plane underneath the point. So we'll see if how well they're able to reset the Grill Masters arrows. JPEG is going for a bomb on Scared Broccoli, trying to finish off that pick. Gets very low, but JPEG is going to fall down to the lower part of the map, so Scared Broccoli gets to stay alive for now. Very slight ad, and the point still being in the favor of the Australian experience. We're definitely hoping to see a push come out sooner rather than later for the Grill Masters.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't sit back for too long with those golden cap rules coming into effect here very, very soon. Just under 10 minutes until those start to kick in. 3 players down to the side of the Grill Masters, so the Australian experience does have a window to try and get some pressure, maybe find some more picks and set things up, but you're not going to be able to. As General Alias is out of the count, Pork Chop will fall to Paul Per. Trying to salvage it will be Engineer Gaming. They will. JPEG going to be able to trade it out. Shalil falls as well to the Sentry from Engineer Gaming. Sentry down on the side of the Australian experience here. Deputy 7 going to be able to find that pick. Now Deputy 7 finds the pick onto General Alias, so no Spy up for the side of the Australian experience. Potentially a push from the height coming out here. A little bit of cap time on last to draw the eyes away. Will be successful. They do allocate some resources back to prevent that cap, but now the pressure onto mid to force this cap will go through. And now they're pressuring through the mid to last. They're trying to just steamroll this through. They do leave, I believe that's Deputy, to defend the point and try to prevent the cap. They're a little too slow. It's just Holy Onyx and Gray on top of the point. A Sniper is not going to be able to hold off this Demo and this Scout all on their lonesome, and they will fall. A little bit of cap time in favor of the Australian experience on middle here is now Scary Broccoli taken very low, walks right into a rocket from JPEG. Scary Broccoli will fall. Team down, now up to the side of the Australian experience as they get themselves a little bit of Uber advantage. And we move into, get this, another stalemate.
It's so unfortunate for the side of the Grill Masters, who had 5 takes, almost had Uber, but Scared Broccoli unfortunately goes down to JPEG in the final moments. JPEG definitely saving that round for his team. Great plays coming out from the Australian experience, as the Grill Masters are going to be able to maintain the point for now. A little bit of cap time coming out for the Australian experience, trying to see if they're able to steal mid from the Grill Masters to no avail, as they are going to be weighing on Uber. Scary Broccoli does go down to Paul Purr, though, so that might be just the pick they need. No heals now for the side of the Grill Masters, as JPEG is going to be going in for the Market Garden. Gets perked the chop. A Critical Beef also going down 3, down 5 for the Grill Masters. This might be what they need, but Pride also goes down as well. This could be going either way. Again, those scrappy fights, the last few players making all the difference there, is what looked to be super definitive for the side of the Australian experience. Is now going back to the Grill Masters, who are now trying to cap last. Stab's trying to see if she can get the point here. Gain the headshot, is able to get 2 with the envy, but Trick Stab!
Oh my goodness! Oh my! Stab!
Before I get a noise complaint,
that.
dude, that was insane.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Gets in there with the Trick Stab. Unfortunately, this isn't enough to net them a round 1 or really any space at all, but that does give them some time to fortify on mid. I mean, the story of this game is just stalemating. I mean, this matchup is extremely balanced as they are, well, just trading blows back and forth, trading picks back and forth, meds drop for med drop. I mean, you can't get any more balanced than this, I would imagine.
It'll be a little too balanced. You might need to get in there, make this an 11v9.
Yeah, something like that. But we'll have to wait and see. General Alias does fall into the Sentry. Jolie trades that out by finding stabs. His spies are off the board for both teams. Ball first down. LB will fall as well. Now Shalil, as a Critical Beef, is able to find those 2 picks. This could be crucial for them to get into last and maybe convert around. Critical Beef is pressuring a lower all on his own. Nobody's following behind him. Now Gray with a shot on the Scary Broccoli, and also I believe they take down that Engineer as well to prevent them from holding anything. They're hoovering top left and now pressuring forward as they push into the point. Crom goes down on top of the point, but gets a lot of good damage with that fire, but now Shalil countering with the damage of their own. Not a lot of cap time going in their favor, but they do still have a little bit of player ad, but there are some spawners coming up. Nice rocket from JPEG though, that connects to, I believe this is Scary Broccoli here, but doesn't net anything. Pork the Chop finds the pipes that find Jolie. That'll be a kill. Shalil committing deep, forces Pork the Chop to take themselves out with a splash, and now they drop down trying to find the med. Will get taken down by the Sentry watching lower. We stalemate once more on mid. 5 minutes until gold cap.
And it looks like that's probably what's going to need to happen for this map to go to either team's side, as fortunately without that match timer, this is turned into a very similar sight we see on like some Capture the Flag maps in casual, you know, the 3-hour-long 2-fort game. Very
a never-ending Hydro game.
Yeah, the Uber, though, is going to be coming out for the Australian experience. Not getting much, though. Scare Broccoli does go down to General Alias, though, so great play from the Spy going in during that Uber, as we'll see if they're able to get much more else off of that, you know. But Uber ad is definitely enough for them to be able to take mid once they're able to get back to full, only being at 30%. Gray going down to General Alias, so General Alias coming in with a bunch of picks here for the side of the Australian experience. As the gun also going down means they will finally be able to start capping a bit. Shalil trying to make some room, gets gunned down by Engineer Gaming, and very, very back and forth so far on mid.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth all of the time. I mean, it is just constantly going back and forth. But this could be the snowball that the Grill Masters are looking for as they effectively wipe out the team, or not the team, as they effectively wipe out the Australian experience. They're getting into last, but it is too late. The spawners have come back, and Gray has fallen, Onyx has fallen, Stabs has fallen. Unfortunately for the Grill Masters, we go back to another stalemate.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking pretty good there for the Grill Masters for a second, but again, just with how fast the spawns are and how like immediate the spawn is to last, it is really, really difficult to try and get anything of substance, as JPEG is not able to get the Market Guard and get Scare Broccoli down to very low HP, as General Alias is able to get the heavy pick. Scare Broccoli running to the pack on the plane. is able to get back to full, trying to connect with somebody, does eventually find a teammate, so he's going to be able to live this. 50% now for the side of Grillmasters compared to 62 for the Australian Experience, as we're gaining now less than 2 minutes before there's going to be a forced reset where both teams go to spawn and mid is no longer capped. But it looks like that might get reset as the Australian Experience are gaining a lot of cap time here with Pale B.
General Alias is out of the equation, so too is Shalil, so that is 3-player advantage for the side of Grillmasters. Stab is going to be taken very low, but does manage to survive for the time being. Holy Onyx will bail him out as they find a pick onto Pale B. Gray falls, Jolie finds that pick. They're still up in player advantage and positioning. Engineer Gaming will go down to Jolie as well. They find a 2K before getting taken out by Holy Onyx. Deputy 7 will find a pick onto Paul Purr as well. Pressure coming in from Pride and Shalil, who is just air blasting every projectile that comes their way. Holy Onyx going to be pressuring down through lower to try and spot out the sentries and whatever else may lie down and wait for them. They're coming in from the top left side. They're going to be trying to trap them inside their spawn. Both the Chomp going to be doing their best, but they will get taken down. Holy Onyx 2 will get taken down by JPEG, as there is... This is looking like a pretty club push, but wait a minute, the banner may come in clutch, but unfortunately it is just Scary Broccoli, so the Grillmasters will not be able to hold on for very long, and the Australian Experience should be able to capture mid here, but the round reset should come through. We will move on to a golden cap. The first team to win the second round, I suppose, will take home the win, so that does favor the Grillmasters as they are currently up in round 1. LB falls. Oh, there's no round reset.
Yeah, it looks like
a little bit of
cap
cap time.
Yeah, the bit of cap time on last here is they're trying, the Australian Experience is trying to get in. The Uber does come in on point though, used very late, so this is going to be a very long Uber for the side of the Australian Experience. Shalil is able to get the finish pick on the Pyro as time's killing the point. Engineer Gaming trying to do whatever he can to save the point. Critical B flow going down, dropping on the point, able to get a couple of picks out as Pride goes down. No heals for the side of the Australian Experience is going to put out the fire that was that push, and we're going to be going to Scared Broccoli having full ad. They're trying to see if they can retake mid. Jolie and Paul Purr are trying to see maybe if they could get a little bit of back cap potential, maybe get a force out on Scary Broccoli as the Grillmasters are trying to take mid, but it was looking great there for a second, but they lose everyone on the point. Unfortunately, everyone clumped up, and now they're just trying to hold on to mid, being down 3.
Yeah, now the golden cap has been enforced, so if the Grillmasters are able to get a snowball that lets them push through and get the next cap, they will walk away from Stormbreaker with the victory. Now, there's no round reset as we see, but Ray's going to be able to find the pick on the Fountain Man in mid. That's going to be a nice pick to have. The demo down should make it a little bit easier to push, but Shalil is able to find the pick on the Scary Broccoli and is probably going to get another one here as well, but will get taken down. Actually, Jolie's able to pop it up and find a pick on the bomb, so post-mortem, it is essentially like Shalil is able to get 2 picks there, and that does slow them down just a little bit, and players are starting to express their frustration, which I don't really blame them. We've been here for a little bit, but the Uber coming through from the side of the Australian Experience into last to try and find the pick onto Scary Broccoli. They will be successful. JPEG is able to find the rockets. That will mop up that pick. Shalil playing in the left stairwell, trying to get some flare damage, but they'll have to back away there. All their lonesome. They'll retreat to the safety of their team, and it looks like, get this, we're going to stalemate.
Yeah, the push, unfortunately, was not able to get anything. They were able to get Scary Broccoli, but the thing that matters, they were not able to get to in time before the respawns come in. Only having like 10 seconds, 11 seconds, actually, it looks like the spawn times might be a little longer than immediately anticipated for the side defense, but still, just with how immediate it is, with the leveled guns and like, with how many flank routes there are, it's really easy for the defending team to just kite constantly and be able to retake the point. So neither team is able to make a whole lot of room here, as we're going to be seeing the Extreme Experience taking Uber out on JPEG, trying to get picks. Her Holy Onyx does go down, as well as Prom. Critical beef down, so down 3 now for the side of the Girl Masters, as Scary Broccoli at 90%. We'll see if he's able to get Uber in time or not, and it looks like things are slowing down a lot more than you'd like if you're on the side of the Extreme Experience. There goes Fountain Man. Pride now being alone here, trying to leave, getting bombed by Pork the Chop. Is able to surf the sticky, but into the wall, going down. And it looks like the Girl Masters are going to be able to retake mid here, as there is a pick coming out from General Alias. Scary Broccoli also gets forced, only being with Gray. The Sniper's not able to protect the med too well, unfortunately. Fun fact. And yeah, it looks like Girl Masters are going to be able to cap mid. We're not going to see a round reset.
I mean, at this point, it is just kind of up in the air as to who could win this game. I mean, it's been up in the air for a while. Both of these teams are very evenly matched in skill. It's a very balanced game, which is why it's stalemating so hard. And I think, you know, the teams we interviewed earlier, they did say this map was very snowball dependent. If you had momentum, you could very easily carry it through. But if that other team is able to stonewall you, they can stonewall you and prevent you from getting into last forever, basically. Because once you lose that momentum, it becomes extremely hard to regain it on this map. With how tight it is, how close you have to be playing to one another, everybody's getting the same spam most of the time. And it just gets very, very, very difficult to try and reclaim anything. Uber gets used in the top left here. Scary Broccoli backs away toward mid with the Uber being used. Flashes the heavy very briefly. They don't really find anything up in the top left. And we go back to another stalemate here on mid.
Yeah, with Pride having full Uber, we'll see if the Australian Experience... Never mind! Gray is able to get the pick onto the medic, somehow finished off. I'm not 100% sure how Pride died there. Maybe got pushed off the map or something along the lines, but does go down. So Scared Broccoli is now going to be having Uber at 60% as the Australian Experience are down 3. They are able to get their players up, though, almost immediately. So they're able to get a little bit of room, the Girl Masters are, but they're going to have to wait for that Uber before they go for something. But if any time is the time for them to try and take it, it's going to be now. 90% is Gray slowly swinging on the top left here, trying to see if they could get a pick. Not able to connect with the shot as the Uber comes out, trying to get to the point. Gray goes down, and we'll see if this Uber is able to get anything, or if there's going to be yet another stalemate.
It's seeming like there will be another stalemate because that sentry is still on the fort. It was not taken down in the Uber. It was not prioritized. They were too focused on taking players out up toward their spawn, and now it is essentially a full team wipe for the side of the Grill Masters. And even though it's golden cap, the only thing I think that can neutralize the pressure at this point is a round reset, because it forces these teams to take a traditional mid fight as opposed to trying to recollect themselves after each push to capture mid. There's a back cap threat, however, as it's halfway captured by Jolie, getting a lot of value by drawing plenty of eyes. But well, wait a minute. Actually, they might try and push in through lower. They're getting up in toward lobby now. Now getting up toward height from the stairwell. Demo does not die to the sticky trap, but Halper and Pelby will both fall to Great and stats respectively. Prom and Critical Beef will fall. Gray going to be able to hunt a pick onto the Engineer. General Alias finds the pick onto Broccoli, however, so this could spell the end of this round if they play it carefully. But there are 2 players down, I believe, for the side of the Australian Experience to really turn this one around, but I could be mistaken. Does look like Pork the Chop is too focused on the height, but does direct their attention to the point. They managed to find the pick of Jolie, who was the sole capturer. And we'll go to another reset. Or not another reset.
Also, by the way, thank you for the $10 donation, Overlord Lettuce. Thank you for the TF2 community tax payment for the charity there. $950. We're 50 away from 1,000. Guys, I would not be sitting here talking. Eki would not be sitting here talking if it wasn't for a good cause, and that cause is charity. So if you want, these players are playing their hearts out. They are here for your entertainment. Are you not entertained? We have been here for God knows how long. We'll be here for God knows how long. That is, I am loving it. For the cause that is Child's Play. Exclamation point donate in the chat if you have the funds and are in the financial position. So we'll see as the point is still in the favor for the Australian experience. The kill B does go down to Pork the Chop, so a couple of players down. We'll see if the Grill Masters are able to actually get the point here as they have Uber add. Skip Broccoli does go down to half HP though, so I'm not entirely sure if this is going to turn into anything. He gets forced. Not many more picks coming out though, and I mean they are down 3 Australian experience, but it looks like they might be able to hold on to the point. Lots of their players are backed up now though, so finally we might be seeing the point switch over, but unfortunately it's mid and not last.
Yeah, I mean, that is the unfortunate part for the side of the Grill Masters. Now they do have a little bit of player ad. Gray is capturing. Will get 1v1 by the Engineers. Going for the wrench pick. Will get the wrench pick on the Gray. So that is a little bit of solace for the side of the Australian experience. They also find stabs. Shalil is able to find that pick. Crom or actually it'll just be Crom is able to find Jolie, and I believe they found Paul Purr, so they do equalize those picks. Uber does get used from the side of the Australian experience. They're trying to hunt down Scary Broccoli. They will get extinguished by Crom, however they will survive the afterburn. JPEG will find a pick on a Deputy. Broccoli holds on to that Uber. Full Uber advantage, but they are losing control of mid very, very, very quickly. And they'll have to use their Uber. And, they'll have to try and convert this point as quickly as they possibly can. And I have just received word, if I'm understanding this right, if there's no cap in the next 4 minutes for the golden cap, then if nobody caps, it'll be based on who is actively holding mid. If I'm understanding this correctly, from my lovely production staff and event organizers. But
it looks like this might be the first time that a stalemate like this has happened on this map so far.
I
so
know.
Trying to figure out a way to get things going as the Grillmasters retake the point, but the shot push does go down, and the Australian experience are immediately fighting back to retake mid. So there's a little bit more activity, a little bit more movement on mid, but again, it's mid and not last. So the Australian experience should be able to convert this into a mid cap. They do, and now with Ubers being had on both sides, I'm expecting a push to be coming in very, very shortly from the side of the Australian experience.
Yeah, and I mean, the way the rules are set right now are very much benefiting the Grill Masters. They only have to hold on to mid at this point, and they can kind of walk away with a dub. Based on the fact that they're in control of mid. The Australian experience will have to try and fight for this extra point, although I'm not sure if we're going to reward them the win just for having the mid point under their control. You know, even though the Grill Masters are up around, I mean, like we said, we're cobbling together like a rapid response to this, just because I think it's the first time today that a team is stalemated this much. Broccoli will fall outside of blue choke, so this could be the window that the Australian experience need to get into last. They do find General Alias. Pork will fall, however, so that's a great trade to have made. But the Australian experience needs to try and push into this. But unfortunately, there is nothing that they are doing at the moment to try and net themselves a last dub. However, they do have that Uber advantage, so they may be biding their time trying to get in with the Uber and try and make sure things are as smooth as possible. But we've seen how Ubers from both of these sides have gone in this last.
Yeah, and I mean, what we really need to see here during one of these Ubers is very good cap time happening during the duration of the Uber. It's almost we've never seen as the Uber is coming out. So I'll switch my texture over to that. As 4 go down for the side of the Grill Masters, there is a little bit of cap coming in after the fact with Pale B on the point. Fountain Man trying to spawn camp for as long as he can, and down 6 now for the side of the Australian experience. Stabs getting a pick, and Pulper going down. So now Akvi is going to be the only one alive, and I don't think the Engineer is going to be able to finish it from the other side of the map. So wait, actually I lied. Akvi with the teleporter underneath. Maybe something will happen at some point, but
Theory crafting.
I like it. I was gonna say eventually, who knows? We need something unorthodox to occur for one of these teams to actually win the point. But Stab's going in with the pick on Pride. Scary Broccoli now at full ad. Stab's trying to get extra picks as well. Octavia going down to 1 HP, going down to Stabs as well. So that's 2 now for the Blue Spy. Great plays as Scary Broccoli is able to live, trying to hold on to Uber, but does get forced due to JPEG. So the Girl Masters should be able to cap mid, but unfortunately not keep maintaining that Uber head means that last is going to be way more difficult than it was previously.
Yeah, you definitely wanted to hold on to that Uber, but in 15 seconds, that new ruling based on active mid-hold is about to kick in, so the Australian experience have to kick it into high gear and get on to that point and fight for it to see if they can convert it into their hands. Maybe they can net themselves a win of some kind, but as it stands right now, it is firmly in control of the Grill Masters. I believe that is time. And if I remember right, this will count as the golden cap capture. So the score will be set to 2-0 for bookkeeping purposes. And this match is, as I understand it, over with the Grill Masters W.
Looks like we're just waiting on the MQ win limit 1 in chat in the console before the map like officially ends, quote unquote. But it should be going to the Grill Masters here. Great. I mean, this has been a superb game for both sides. We saw a point get capped very early on, and that was about it for the duration of this entire match. So very evenly balanced here. Both teams having great plays from both sides. I mean, just press and tap, looking at the scoreboard. Over half the server is hit to be able to get to over 100 points. So great job from the side of the Grill Masters to be able to get that first map, even through all of the teeth pulling that had to occur for them to actually be able to get the lead.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You know what? We don't usually look at the logs at this. We're not going to look over the logs, but I am going to open logs TF just to see how long that match actually went on for, because that felt like an eternity. 51-42 according to logs TF. So we spent almost an hour on this one. So Stormbreaker will be finished here. That is the end of Stormbreaker. Grill Masters will walk away from Stormbreaker with a 2-0 victory, and that gives them a 1-map lead in the series, where now we move on to Payload, which I believe will take us to Desolation sometime here shortly. But in the downtime, folks, I want to remind you, we are here for charity. We are at $950 out of $1,000. I believe this is a new donation, or no, sorry, that is Overlord Lettuce with his TF2 community tax. So we're at $950 out of $1,000 for the unusual giveaway. We are almost halfway to the goal, and it would be amazing if we could reach that before the end of day 1, but Tiltify donating will be open regardless of the status of the game. Even if we're offline, you can still donate, but it's a very good cause that you're donating money to if you choose to and if you are able, and I cannot emphasize just how much it would help so many children who are stuck in hospitals in unfortunate situations.
Yeah, and I mean, like we've talked about, having that escape, having that ability to be able to focus on anything that isn't the, whatever medical procedure or illness, ailment is going on, being able to like turn your attention to be able to sort of like disconnect from whatever you're going through, to be able to focus on gaming, which all of us here have done for an extended period of time. So so being able to support them in their time of need is amazing. 950 to that 1,000 for the unusual giveaway, and then halfway to the big goal of $2,000. I mean, I definitely think we could keep it up and push past that $1,000 mark by the end of the night. So if you're able to, please donate. QR code, link in chat, ! donate, however you feel is best. But yeah, I mean, first map, very long, but very glad to see it over. And if you're on the side of the Grill Masters, you got to be very ecstatic knowing, oh, thank God we got this map. We only need one more. But if you're on the side of the Australian experience, it's got to be tough going through almost an hour of TF2 just to not be able to convert it to a win. So we'll see how the next map goes.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the next couple of games go. But I mean, if I believe we're going to payload, so it shouldn't be so easy to turbo stalemate like it was on this. But it's definitely not going to be a quick game. I don't expect these teams to make it to the final point at all. I don't even know if we'll see them make it to maybe the third or fourth point, given how well they play against one another. I genuinely think we're probably going to be seeing a cart barely get to halfway through the map on either team, and it's going to come down to the wire. And I think Grill Masters are really going to try and put it all out in the field here, because if they can, they end things a little early. They don't have to play a third map, and they can walk away knowing that they have swept their opponents.
Yeah, and I mean, with payload here, I mean, thankfully now we have a timer. There is a maximum amount of time that can be played on this map, so we don't get stuck in limbo, so to speak.
Of
But
course.
yeah, both teams are very good at defending, very good at being able to kite Ubers, being able to like maintain their players and take the refights. And I mean, pushing was definitely a difficulty for both teams. So you combine those two things together, you get stalemates, and we'll see as the players slowly load into the server for PL Desolation if they're able to, if we'll be seeing something similar, some very difficult like inches gained sort of payload where the cart doesn't go much anywhere, or if we're going to maybe see something a little bit of the inverse, see these players finally like turn it into high gear and convert some of these pushes into actual 1 points.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if that is the story to be told, or if we'll see a polar opposite in terms of how these teams play. Anything is possible. New map, new me. And to answer Crom's question, who says, how are the commentators doing after that last match? As much as I like the blimp, I'm happy we are out of it.
I mean, the blimp is a beautiful map, but eventually you enter a state of mind where you're no longer connected with one's own body and you're just purely focused on TF2. So I don't entirely know where I am, but I am watching TF2 and I am watching a bunch of players jump into the pit and spawn. So that's good. That's good. Being able to
That
connect
creator
to at least that.
specifically requested for players to feed the death pit, did they not? So I think that's a good thing that we're doing.
I mean, that's how the map continues to run. I mean, how do you think
That's true.
the
How do you think
generators
the
keep
cart
going?
moves?
Exactly.
Like like they push it, but like, how do you think it rolls back on its own? The cart is being like the rails are being powered by the corpses fed, or actually not even corpses, by the people fed into the death pit, and also the generators. But that's less important.
Oh, there's a frog underneath the pit. I just realized. That's sick.
What?
It's a frog.
Hang
I love
on.
that frog.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
I don't know
Oh, yes,
how
there
did he
is.
get there
Found
though.
him.
That's a mystery right there. There is no way to get in besides through the giant claws of death. There's just a frog in the middle of the death pit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's best we don't question these things. It's best we just don't worry about it.
It's gonna be like an
How the
hour-long
frog
lore
got there
drop.
is not important. Yeah, it's like a lore videos bit to come out about how the frog got into the death pit
With the YouTuber voice and everything.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. I do believe we should be starting relatively soon, and I would just like to reiterate, folks, that we are only $50 away from an unusual giveaway at the end of the grand finals. Those of you who are active in chat at the end of the grand finals, one of you will be selected to win a free unusual if we hit the $1,000 mark, which we are only $50 away from. So if you are able and if you are willing, we highly encourage you to donate to this cause. And I mean, who can't get behind a cause like helping children that are in
I mean, the minimum
hospitals?
donation's only $1, so if you have the funds spare, you have a couple extra dollars you aren't using for anything, this is like a great way to convert that into helping, those in need.
Yeah. I mean, it feels good to help those in need. It feels good to help those of us who need it. So if you are able, like we say, we highly encourage you to consider donating to the cause. But I mean, I guess going back into this game, I think we're just waiting on them to start and hit the RUP button. Oh, they've had to exec the whitelist and the config and everything here. So
Config issues.
now that that's done, we should be going live relatively soon. But I mean, how are you feeling looking at payload here? New game mode, new map, new mental, little refresher. Give you a second after that hour-long blimp ride to, stretch your legs, relax, breathe, get some water.
Whatever you need. And yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, I mean, we saw the pick classes going absolutely insane on that on the 3CP map with the blimp and all that. And for payload, it's a lot easier to be able to push the cart and be able to like cap at the same time, when it felt like with the map previously it was there was so much room you had to take before you can even get anywhere with capping the point. That pushes had to take took so long that it was almost impossible to maintain that momentum for like that significant period of time. So hopefully if the spies and snipers are able to maintain, getting those med picks, getting those demo picks, it's a lot easier for them to be able to push off and convert it into actually getting the first point, the second point, so on and so forth. Definitely one of the longer payload maps. Again, very Swiftwater feeling, at least to me. You got 5 points, fairly long, one of the points right next to the other. So we'll see how it goes. This map is definitely very defender sided, so very easily could turn into yet another stalemate. But with payload being first to one as well, look, once the map starts, that's it. You got to leave it all out on the table now. If you're on the side of the stream experience, and if you're on the Grow Masters, you just want to get out of here with a quick 2-0 and take that into day 2. So we'll see as we hit the $1,000 goal with Hunter getting the 50. We've hit it.
Yes.
I am so happy to be here for that moment. Like this is great. Thank you guys so much for donating. That's great. That's great. Usual giveaway tomorrow. That's gonna be heat.
Great stuff. Thank you, Hunter, for the grills. We know who they're rooting for, but we are at that unusual giveaway goal. So if you're interested, tune in for the grand finals tomorrow. Keep your eyes peeled. Stay in here after the grand finals and talk to people. Do some chatting. We're gonna pick one of you that are in there, and you will receive a free unusual through the giveaway. And we just got a $2.70 donation from Sulio saying, "Come on, fellas, do it for the children." Also, the unusual giveaway law, which
yeah, no, it's
you guys have
amazing
made
that
it
we're
there
able to hit
now.
that. And we've gotten to it. So at this point, over halfway to the main goal. Being able to set our sights. We did the tutorial mission, so to speak. We did the beginner stuff. Now it's time for the big prize, the big diamond. We've made it. We've made it to the arena. Now it's time to finish it off, so to speak. So every dollar we're able to get in is a dollar closer to hitting that $2,000 goal. And being able to do that would be amazing. For a community as close knit as TF2, being able to show that we can make some positive change, it's great, and it's really great to see. So it looks like we're just going to be waiting on JPEG at the moment on the side of the Australian experience. I'm pretty sure he's the only one that isn't in the server. And once he's in, we should begin a RUP sooner rather than later. Not 100% sure what is causing him. Maybe a game crash, maybe internet, maybe I don't know. Not 100% sure, but something's causing him to not be able to be here.
Yeah,
so
something's putting a wrench in the plans. And I ate before we casted this, but it's dinner time. I'm starting to get a little hungry. You know what I mean?
Oh no, my household, we've already made dinner, so I've been like dealing with that, the smell of like food for like the past like 30 minutes.
My Gramps is making some burgers downstairs. I can smell it. It's making me hungrier. But I think we should be able to go live shortly. At least I would hope.
Looks like JPEG just got done eating hot dogs, so that is why he has not been here. Is because he was letting us, we could smell it. He needed to eat though, so it looks like he's gonna be done with that, and we should be starting soon.
Yeah. Now, I see whoever is typing with the Seasonalander channel name saying you're waiting on Canes. I want you to know you're evil for telling me that you're waiting on Canes because it's like, man, I need Canes. I need Canes right now. Canes at
I've heard
any
very
hour
good
of the day.
things about Raising
It's,
Canes. I've never had
I'm,
it before because I don't have one near me, but I've heard very good things about it.
I'm gonna be honest. If you don't use the sauce, it is kind of mid. But you can also get a lot of the sauce for like so little money, it like doesn't even matter. The sauce, it's super easy to replicate as well. But I their bread is nice, their fries are nice, the chicken's nice, it's seasoned well. It's just very good. I love Cane's, big fan. But yeah, hopefully one day soon I can get me some Cane's because I've had a hankering, I've had a craving, if you will, for some of that Cane's. But we're waiting at this point with 18 in the server. We are waiting.
Looks like we do have one
start.
team that readied up, but it looks like they unreadied. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I mean, yeah, no, I don't have a Raising Cane's near me, but I that is something I do want to try at some point. I know, like, especially being out where I'm at in the middle of nowhere, kind of sparse for choices, but I've heard very good things about I'm not sure what entirely is in that sauce, but it makes people go insane. So it's got to be good.
Yeah. I honestly I could not tell you. I know there's pepper, ketchup, mayo in there, but that's about it that I could tell you about that. But I usually what I'll do, I get me some Canes, right? All of their elements, they go together. You get the bread, and what I like to do when I get my Canes is, we're yapping about food now because we've just been waiting for a little.
Well, it's just we're gonna get to eating for a minute.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. What I like to do whenever I get my Canes is I'll take the bread that they give you and I'll split it down the middle the long way. I'll open it up, right? And then I'll put a chicken tender in there. Then I'll put some fries on top of that and I'll drizzle the sauce over it. I get me a little sandwich of chicken. I get me a little chicken and fries sandwich. Oh, that is fire. But we are going live to the payload map here on Desolation, and things should be very interesting here.
And I mean, with that rep one step closer to being able to get through the second map, from my understanding, it is only one half of payload, so whoever wins this is going to be walking away with the map. Again, we are up 1-0 for the side of the Grill Master, so if they're able to convert
They're feeding
this map, you gotta feed the pit. Maybe it makes the cart move faster. Who knows?
They did it in a single file line too. How respectful.
That's coordination right there. I'd be scared if I was.
Oh, they're about to do it again. They're about to do it again. The double feed.
Looks like a couple
Wait a
of players
minute.
in blue might have baited.
Ooh,
Deputy 7
some
laughing at
baiters.
the corpses of his
We don't like
teammates.
baiters. We don't like baiters.
Yeah, I
Might have to
don't think
pick
he's
him up
getting any
and
Raising
huck him
Canes
into
after
the
this.
pin. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Might have to pick him up and huck him into the grinder there, but yeah, definitely you are not getting any Raising Canes after this. I'll tell you that much. But setup is over, and now they begin their push. General Alias sitting on top of the rock, as is common with a lot of players who just a great spy spot. Good for spy, good for info. They decloak, they do get in, they miss the stab, they miss another! And they'll be taken down by Engineer Gaming Live. The Sentry will clean up that kill. 2 players down as they also lost Pale D a little earlier on. Now they lose JPEG and Jolie as well. So the only person holding that lower area now will be Paul Purr. They do manage to find a shot onto Deputy, but that's traded out as Fountain Man is found. Now Paul Purr will fall as well, so the Sniper is now down. And this is a lot of great space made right off rip, but now they pressure. Well, I was going to say they pressure into the barn blitz of this map, but that Sentry got taken down very quickly. They are trying to rebuild. Pyro dropping out to get some damage, but they will fall. Engineer trying to do what they can to contest as well, but that Uber is coming out from the side of the Grill Masters, and they are making great space as they're capitalizing on the drop. They were able to pry out from Pride.
Yeah, almost an entire team wipe as Stabs is able to get that med pick, getting the drop. So basically a free Uber for the side of the Grill Masters and being able to maintain slight ad, as it actually looks like Gray is on Medic, looks like Scare Broccoli unfortunately had to leave, so now we're seeing Gray Medic. We're seeing Minty was able to show up, so we'll be seeing Minty back on Sniper. So a little bit of a roster change, and we'll see how much of a benefit or a deficit that will be. This WD7 and Engineer Gaming might both go down. Pale B getting traded out, and yeah, very good first push for the side of the Grillmasters.
They're making great progress here. They're almost at the second point already. I believe a minute 2 is the same progress we saw from the first matches. I forget who was on offense first there, but
Podcasters, I believe.
yeah, I think it was Podcasters that they were able to get a minute 2. So very efficient pushing coming from the Grillmasters and the Podcasters, but now they're pressuring even further. Ubers are a bit even here, but Gray is slightly in front. I would like to point out that Gray has swapped to Medic and Holy Onyx will fall in here, Gaming will fall as well. Deputy's going to be able to find a pick on a General Alias. Those Ubers will come out. They are on the low ground inside of the Australian experience, but they'll come out on top as they have to find the 4 picks in this post-Uber.
Yeah, that push was looking pretty good for the side of Grillmasters for a moment there. And also good Pride going down 2 stabs, Fountain Man going down to the mini from Engineer Gaming Live. So what I thought was going to turn into a reset and the Grillmasters trying to just, you know, recoup their losses is going to turn into a push with down 6 now for the side of the Australian experience. Sholel, JPEG is trying to get away, run away for their air lives as JPEG is going in for the 1v1 on WD7. It gets the direct, is able to finish the pick off as Pork the Chop tries to avenge his fallen comrade, but he does go down. Paul Purr losing SPS to Minty. So 249 for 2 points. Very fast pace for the side of the Grillmasters. We'll see if they're able to keep it up into this third point as JPEG gets air shot in the air and goes down.
Oh, we love a good air pipe. Great shot from Pork to take down JPEG and prevent any detrimental damage from coming toward Ray. They do play back a little bit as they try to pressure forward. They've got a great angle here. Double stab from Stabs and they get Shalil. They get 3. They find Pride. This is basically a team wipe as 5 of them go down. There's 4 left standing. Soon to be 2. JPEG does manage to survive. They find a pick onto Stabs. But oh my goodness me. This is 3 points in, I think, under 5 minutes here. Just about under 5 minutes. Oh my god, under 4 minutes. Holy moly. With great time saved from the Grillmasters here. They're looking at what should be a decent, a pretty strong first round. And I'm thinking that they're going to have a pretty easy time on the defense, but we'll have to see what the Australian experience has to offer when it comes to their offense. General Alias is able to find the backstab onto Holy Onyx here.
We'll see if General Alias is able to get anything else. I mean, with only 2 on the cart, it is fairly frail, but the Grillmasters are going to be pushing up. Fountain Man and Pale B both going down, so any ideas that Australian Experience might have had into trying to re-push this 4th point are going to be completely dialed down to 0, as Paul Purr, very low HP, does go down. Critical Beef getting stepped by General Alias as well. So no sniper, despite General Alias does go down after getting that pick. And the bomb in coming from Pork the Chop is able to get the force on Pride on not being able to be denied in time, as down 3 now for the side of the defenders here. Is Stabs able to get the
Oh my goodness.
This is what we were talking about before. Being able to play off of those spy picks is crucial, and the Grillmasters are doing just that. 447 and 4, and now just marching their way through the last point.
Yeah, I mean, this is brutal when you have over 2, or not even, goodness me, I'm struggling to get words out. When you have 2/3 of your team that haven't even reached the 10-point mark, it is a sign of a roll, and that is exactly what we're seeing. 4 points in 447. This is going to be a very simple defense, and all they have to do is leave it all out in the field on one of these points. Now, Wolf on though, Demo is alive, but they try to trade it out. They find Goldie, but that's not a perfect trade. Nice reflect. And that will manage to get the pick onto JPEG. Stabs finds the pistol kill onto Paul Purr. Critical Beef does fall, so there's no heavy alive for the side of the Grillmasters, but they have enough player advantage where I think it shouldn't matter. Holy Onyx does fall. They will have to position themselves a little bit better, play a little bit further back, and this is where the bulk of the time is going to come in if they're not able to pressure at this point effectively. They do use their Uber in. It is going to be Crom going forward, trying to take the fight with Shalil. Will get pinched by JPEG, but I believe a reflect sealed the fate of Shalil there. And honestly, I'm surprised you're able to reflect rockets that are coming from basically behind you. Nice spoon from JPEG as they find the pick onto Gray as well. Stab trades it out by finding Oxy, but that's not a good enough trade. You got to try and find Pride there, who's sitting with that full Uber. And they know they're in a dangerous spot. They've got to play back.
Yeah, being down 4 now, able to get a couple of spawners. I was interested to see if there's going to be some kind of fast sack as JPEG going and getting the pick on Engineer Gaming live. And Stabs does eventually die, but is able to get multiple for that bomb there. Not the best picks, but definitely, you know, you'll take what you can get as a Pride possibly going to be getting forced out soon as the Australian Experience is trying to hold on to the cart. The cart is able to get up the ramp they were not able to use in time before the Grillmasters were able to get that cart up. So this could be very good for the side of blue here, as Gray seems to be getting a little caught out here with Pork the Chop. We'll see if the Australian Experience is going to be collapsing in off that, or if Gray's able to lift the Market Garden in the air! Gets dropped like it's WWE! Gets slammed into the ground. The Market Garden is able to finish off Gray, and what could have been a very good push for the side of Grillmasters is turning into nothing but pain as the cart rolls back.
From the top turnbuckle with the steel chair comes JPEG down onto Gray, and they wipe away that Uber as if it was never even there in the first place. Now, it's not crazy advantage for the side of the Australian Experience, but they are still sitting on a pretty sizable chunk of it. They're trying to get that cart over this slope, but they're struggling now. They do have player advantage here. That sentry needs to fall next. First and foremost, Deputy will sacrifice their life for it. They do get the cart over the hump, and they will prevent it from rolling back, at least for the time being, but that timer is going to kick in very soon. They should be willing to pressure here with this spawn wave and maybe, just maybe, inch this cart forward. Treat it at this point as if it's a call. If you're edging that cart ever so slightly closer to the pit, but looks like it's probably going to roll back here. Shalil does get taken down, which might open up a window for Stabs to try and get in on the flank, but Engineer Gaming is down. General Alias will fall. Oleonics will fall as well. Cart now beginning to roll back. Will slide down the ramp. And unfortunately for the Grillmasters, they do not have that cart.
They do get Paul Per there. Stabs able to get behind at very low HP and is able to convert the sniper pick. So no sniper pick classes, as well as JPEG going down for the side of the Australian Experience. With the cart rolling back, it is going to give the Australian Experience a little bit of time to reset. Gray is going to use here for the side of the Grillmasters, using fairly early. It is crits though, is able to get multiple picks with it, but not on the Medicares. Pred is now at 60%. We'll see if they're able to get in time, as the Fountain Man is going to be taking a lot of damage. The cart rolling up as well and getting ever so closer to the pit. JPEG with the Market Garden on the cart though, Deputy going down, and it looks like the Australian Experience might be able to hold on for just a little bit longer, but with Pride going down in the back, it is looking very dire for Red for them to be able to hold on. Paul Per is able to get the sniper as Droly is trying to do whatever they can to get onto the cart. Critical Beef holding it onto it with Crom. They're getting pushed into the pit, and the cart goes in with it. Just to give a bit of a note, half of their push time was last. 9:45. What we thought was blistered, like blistering pace, is now just an average time because of that last hold. Great last hold for the side of the Australian Experience, and we will see if they're able to push in time, or if the Grillmasters are going to be walking away with here with a 2-0 victory.
Absolutely. That last point so heavily favors the defenders. You have to have a perfect structured push with everybody involved, everybody playing their role for the speed, breaking that. And if you don't play it the proper way, you end up biting the dust. You become the unfortunate sucker that can't push into last. Now we do have the pit feeding. They are very slow to it, but they're consistently feeding the pit here for good luck. So I imagine they understand the value of the sniper going in for it. Paul Per wants to feed it. So
yeah, I mean,
a lot of technique coming out from the Australian Experience as they rotate over to the offense.
Maybe if the Grillmasters fed the pit a little bit more, they would have been able to cap last faster. So we'll see if the Australian Experience is able to push in 10 minutes. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna be. This should be going down to the wire based off of that time.
And it looks like my suspicions from the previous match between the podcasters and the, I'm already forgetting their name, but with the podcasters, it looks like the first point is basically a gimme. It is in Swiftwater. Or at least this initial open area is a gimme. But when you get into this, this big, large open area, it becomes much more of a harder hold here. Now we do have the Uber coming in from top left. They're going to be trying to get as much damage as possible can. They don't take down the sentry. The Wrangler still is able to keep it up, and that Uber will fail with nothing to show for it. They lose pride. They lose Paul Burr. They lose. Actually, they haven't lost JPEG just yet, but they will soon if they do not play carefully. But they lose 3 players now, 4 players on the side of the Grill Masters. They are holding on to this very poorly, but the attention is dragged away from the objective, and that does net them a minute's worth of time as the remaining players pushing into the point manage to find the crucial picks that are necessary, getting the heavy out of the equation. They will now be able to capture this point in about a minute.
Yeah, I was going to say, with first being slightly slower than we saw them originally, a minute 20 compared to a minute 2, I guess this is looking ever so slightly better than for the Grill Masters, but not by much, as with this Uber dis ad, it's going to be very difficult to hold off of it. Also, only having a level 1 gun, not being fully set up, as Holy Onyx going down as well. Bunch of spam going in on the gun. Engineer Gaming Live doing whatever he can to keep the gun up, as it eventually will go down, though. Shalil getting sniped by Minty, as well as stabs going down on the back. So, with a 95%, we're going to be seeing an Uber come out here shortly, and this is going to be very crucial on whether or not they're going to be able to get second.
Yeah, if they can time this Uber properly, they can wipe out the team of the Grill Masters. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to be happening. Gray does manage to stay alive, but as soon as I think I say it, JPEG gets in and finds the pick onto Gray. So this is effectively a full team wipe, especially with the heavy being caught in there. The scout, Holy Onyx, has the right idea, but is targeting the wrong individuals. Well, actually, I guess with the beam down, it makes sense to go for the demo man there, but I would think you might want to go for maybe the Pyro, allow some of your projectiles that are coming back to spam without fear of being reflected. Buddhist will go away to eat in the corner, gunned down by Minty. They do not advance the point toward the second cap any further with that.
Yeah, they were able to get a little bit of room here. They did clear at the first nest, but Engineer Gaming Live and the Grill Masters have been able to set up another one as they're trying to play this heavy glitch. Critical Beef taking a lot of damage though, especially off that bomb from JPEG. So WD7 able to get the pick on Shalil. Frontman also being down means that there's not really much of a combo anymore for the side of the Australian experience, as it looks like the Grill Masters are now going to be more on the offensive, trying to take even more room. JPEG trying to rebound that, and I mean, as the Ubers are getting close to coming out yet again, they're going to have to play up this light ad very well if they want to get anything crucial, as they immediately.
Oh! General Alias is in, and they find 3. They find Gray, they find Pork, they find Beef. Oh my goodness, they decloaked around a corner. The Pyro wasn't paying attention as soon as they decloaked, and they got in for free. So it looks like the Australian experience is going to be able to capture this point, but it does take them about 3 minutes to do so. And unfortunately, that is 3 minutes that you can't really be throwing away here. So they've got 5, basically 6 minutes here to get through these last 3 points. But if that last hold is anything to behold, then looking, you know, if you were to try and extrapolate this to the end right here, it's looking like it'll be a Grill Masters dub, but of course this is anybody's game. Wait a minute, Spice from behind again, gonna get Engineer Gaming Live. Was targeting Gray, but finds the NG instead. Now Stabs going in, trying to find more, will be able to find a pick onto Paul Burr. That's it. They will have to run it.
Yeah, with that spy pick now being down 3 on defense, as there's going to be a lot of aggression coming out from the Australian experience, losing players in for getting a little bit of cart time. The Grill Masters do have Uber right now, so this is going to be an even trade whenever Stream Experience gets the Uber and decides to use it. But being down, a lot of their combo means that they're going to have to slow down. But maybe not, as Shalil's going to be going in. Maybe they thought they had Ad or something, but with the solo Pyro, it's not getting a whole lot. Oxy and General Alias being down on the side of the offense is going to make this that much harder to push, as the Grill Masters have a great Uber exchange there for them, not losing anyone. And with Holy Onyx going in from the back, maybe being able to get something, Pride going down to very low HP. Pride is able to live though at 30, as well as Minty going down. So this might be something that the Australian Experience can use, but it's getting they need to be getting in soon here to be able to push in time.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like the Grill Masters have a very solid defense already structured out here. They've got a soldier on the height with a great spam angle and only one entrance to flank that he can watch very easily. Minty finds the headshot on the ball first, so that sniper is out of the equation on the side of the Australian Experience. Now they capture this point, but they've got 4 minutes left on the clock. Now the Ubers, plural, do come through, but the beam gets air blasted into the pit. Gray's Uber is defunct, and now Shalil is pressing hard to try and find as many picks as possible. What a great heads-up play from Shalil to throw the Uber into the lava pit. Now they have nobody currently contesting the cart here. Stab does get bumped by the sniper on top of the car, who's now pushing. Will manage to find their escape, however. Critical Beef will fall now, so too will Crom. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, I was going to say,
massive.
Gray getting pushed into that pit there is so unfortunate for the side of the Grill Masters, where now this push is looking to be even more possible. But as I'm saying that, both the Heavy and the Scout going down for the side of the Australian Experience is going to mean that whenever this cart is able to finally be pushed, they're going to have to go back into a full team of 9 without all their guys. So 60% for the side of the offense having slight add their Pride. If they're able to keep an eye on the Uber, if they're carrying an Uber well, they might be able to play off this, but we'll see if they're going to be taking the flank route. And with the amount of high ground that the Grill Masters have, and only having 2:30:45 to cap this, this has to be the push to get fourth. It could just be over.
Yeah, I mean, even if they capture forward here, they have a lot of ground to make up trying to get into last. And like I said, if that previous last hold we saw from the Australian Experience is something to be seen, then we'll probably see something like that, if not stronger, inside of the Grill Masters. Now, they are being forced out of their hold. Pyrocrom is extinguishing players that do need it. So there will be no afterburn picks. The Uber is getting used into the med here. Bry trying to escape. Will manage to escape here. We do have Crom on the hunt, though, with the shotgun, trying to find the pick on a Pride. They manage to regroup with their Heavy. Now Crom is taking the 1v2 with. Now Crom falls. JPEG is in on top of Gray. We'll find the pick on Gray. We'll find the pick on a Pork as well. This could be the push that they're looking for. A minute 50 left on the clock.
Yeah, and I mean, Gray going down with almost full ad on the offense. This is the momentum that they need to be able to take into last for 100 seconds remaining for the Australian Experience. It means you got 1, maybe 2 good pushes left before you aren't going to have any time left. As Critical Beef is able to take out Shalil, does die immediately afterwards, though, as well as Holy Onyx. Down 3 now for the Grill Masters, as Deputy 7 almost hit the air shot, is not able to use. JPEG is going to be going in with the Uber, trying to get Gray, trying to get that medic pick to no avail. But Gray isn't going to have much Uber afterwards to begin anyways at 30%. But Pride does go down to Deputy 7. Not having the medic for this push is going to make it even more difficult. The Market Garden to make it feel even worse for the side of, like, with Deputy 7 going down. So they're able to get something off of that. Minute left. We'll see how long it takes for them to get up to push, but being down 60% disad, it's looking tough. It's looking very difficult for the Australian Experience.
Yeah, 50 seconds now on the clock, slowly ticking down. Players dropping like flies as Shalil tries to pressure onward. They lose 7 now. Yes, 7 players, excuse me. Soon to be 8 as Paul Purr falls. And there are only 35 seconds left on the clock. I think we have entered a state of, well, what can only be described.
You need ×3 within the next 10 seconds or it's over.
Yeah. I mean, you have to constantly be on top of that, cart, and constantly be propelling the defense away. But at this point, there's only so much you can do, and we have entered garbage time. As I think at this rate, it is impossible to win the round with 10 seconds left on the clock. The Grill Masters will walk away from this series with a 2-0 sweep against the Australian Experience. Despite how close the Stormbreaker match was, the payload map is what will send the Australian Experience home packing as they walk away with no maps won under their belt.
I was gonna say the score line definitely is a little deceiving with how close that was. For it to be a 2-0 is fairly surprising, as the Grillmaster is doing a great job on that last hold there. You know, being able to maintain compose. 100 seconds is definitely pushable, so it's not like they had it in the bag at the start to begin with. So being able to take that, both payloads actually were very close. If we look back at like the previous game between the podcasters and that joystick game that I forgot the exact name of, but you know what I'm talking about, GameCube controller guy.
Absolutely.
I
The
will say big
podcasters and the
props
joystick.
to the Grill Masters though for being able to hold on to that and getting this 2-0 victory.
Absolutely. And we do have another $20 donation from Minty coming in. We do it for the Vine. You also do it for the kids that Child's Play is supporting by donating to their charity. So thank you very much for the $20. That puts us at $1,022.70 raised in just a day, and of course the preliminary days that the Tiltify was open before matches were coming through. But $1,000 already. Tomorrow, if we keep up the same pace we had today, we could very easily reach this goal, and we could go over. So if you are able, you want to get your donations in on stream at the last minute, do so now. But
we're still here.
We're moving on to interviews after this, so at this point, we're just waiting to see who's getting drug in.
You know, looks like interviews will be the thing happening immediately afterwards. Not 100% sure which team will be dragged in first, but looking, it's going to be JPEG and Cholel with the Australian Experience that will be dragged in first as they come in. Guys, well, thank you so much for being here in the first place. How do you guys feel about those two matches? The very, very long first map, and then that payload was extremely close. How are you guys feeling after that?
Oh man, that was so hard. They shot back.
Yeah, that first map was actually like the most balanced thing I've ever like had to witness. That was like what, an hour?
Yeah,
They
about
said it was
50
an
minutes,
hour,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's
It
about
didn't
50
feel like
minutes.
an hour to me. I was just shooting
Sorry,
things.
52 minutes.
Yeah, it did not feel like an hour. Like I was just like running it down. Sometimes I would find Sam.
I was just feeding constantly, but it was working because I got kills. But then it also wasn't working because we didn't get capped.
Yeah, no, very, very close, like first match. I mean, and with that payload, as you guys were pushing the last there with 100 seconds, what was the like mentality and the call? Like you guys definitely had the time necessary, but unfortunately weren't able to get it. Were the comms chaotic? How did you guys try and approach that last push for the second map?
I at least definitely tried to like tell my team to like not trickle feed because like that was gonna be a guaranteed loss if we did that.
Yeah.
And I told them like at like 20-15 seconds, like all of you start fighting all at once. But I think it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. I mean,
it's such unfortunate too because I dropped the medic, I think, but it still wasn't enough.
yeah, we got the medic. We also got the NG, and I think all we needed to do was just chill out and get the Uber, and then hopefully we would have won based off the time. But
Mhm.
I don't know. All that trickle feeding cost
Was
us the
very
game,
close.
but we still had fun.
Yeah. What I will say, the first map, like I ended up main calling for most of the team, but it's really difficult to main call on that map when you're on the flank. Because like number one, our team doesn't know the map that well,
Mhm.
at least like in depth properly. And number two, because I'm on the flank, I have no idea where my combo is or what they're looking at or what they see. So it's really difficult to call for them. Like I would be going for sack plays, and then my medic is just following me because he has nowhere else to go because we're like always losing each other. And so that made it really very difficult. I think that was that I don't think we were able to adjust to that, especially because that map was like such a maze. It feels like Banana Bay, but in the sky.
You know what? That's pretty
I like that
accurate,
comparison.
honestly.
I see that. I see
Banana
that.
Bay in the
I
sky.
could see it.
I mean, the verticality of the map, the verticality of Banana Bay, all the
verticality,
little
the
flank routes and all that.
3 billion
There's
flank routes. Yes.
so many different ways to take a fight.
Mhm.
My God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, apart from that first map, I saw people were starting to voice their frustrations after a while just before the golden cap came in. How'd you guys feel about the payload map? How was that? How did that one flow for you guys? I mean, I know we talked about how you guys kind of struggled in the last couple seconds, last minute or so, but I mean, it seemed like we were doing pretty well up until that point. So I want to know, what was just kind of the thought process in playing that map?
I think definitely when we were on defense, it was not clear to our team where we should hold, where the combo should go, where the flank should go, what doors we need to watch. Just because, it's a new map and people haven't played it enough. No one knows the callouts. Nobody knows where to stand, where not to stand, when to leave, when to fight, things like that. And so obviously I tried to call the best I could to like tell everybody where to stand, like should we back up, should we go in, things like that. But we probably needed more practice.
Such
for
is the
sure, but-
case with a lot of those
Yeah.
new maps.
Our
I will
offense was
say-
pretty well coordinated though. Like JPEG
Yeah.
and I were we were basically just playing combo and taking Ubers in, and somehow we would get really good collapses up until
Mhm.
like second to last and last point.
Definitely on the last point and second to last point was where I was able to at least get some value for the team.
Yeah, for
both
sure.
on offense and on defense. Because on offense, I was just getting rolled, man. I was just like dying constantly. Like we were getting steamrolled.
Yeah,
There
you
was
were
nothing to
providing
do
good
for the first
value.
2 points.
Really good value.
Yeah, I mean, I got value, but at what cost?
Well, I guess we've got how the map's played out of the way. Real quick, before we give you your shout outs and parting words, how did you guys feel about how the maps looked, like aesthetically? Were they nice? Did you guys like how they looked, or?
I've seen images of the airship one, and it looks very beautiful. But with my config, it's a giant gray square at the bottom of the
Yeah,
map.
you and me both. You and me both.
That's
And
basically
so-
how my experience was.
And so I don't know. It kind of reminds me of a Roblox game. That's what it looks like. It's on my config.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The other map, though, because it's on the ground, it looks better on my config, and because there's a lot of high walls and such that sort of obscure anything outside the map, it definitely looks better. But I think if my config wasn't like so heavy-handed, for lack of a better term, I'm sure I'd enjoyed the visuals more on the airship map
All
because
right.
it looks very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple of the images. It looks awesome, but unfortunately, I play on Tater graphics, so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We've got the tater tottery graphics.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
For the last bit, do you guys have anyone to shout out? Any last words? People come to
Mhm.
mind?
Shout out to the casters for casting and for Ian the Awesome putting all this together, and all the staff putting everything together, organizing the teams, all this such. And shout out to everyone else for donating.
Oh, I thank you, JPEG. He knows how to get brownie points, and I like that.
I was say this.
That's good.
Hey guys, that reminds me
You
of
guys-
this money.
Yes, literally, we are less than 1,000 away from the finalized goal. I know we can do it. Sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to make sure. It's
Critical beef,
said.
by the way, at the
Yeah.
25. Just thought I'd note that. Saw that.
Yes, sir.
Shout out. That's big. Cholil, anything?
Huge.
Well, I was gonna say the same thing as JPEG. I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
happy that everyone is like able to donate and spend whatever extra money they can to like support a really good cause. Thank you guys.
All right. Well,
Indeed. Well,
we hate to shovel you out of here, but
you
we
guys
do
are going
have,
into the pit now. Sorry.
Yeah, we have
yeah.
to feed you to the grinder. We're
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, you got to keep the lights on somehow.
Yeah. But
Now, who are we moving in for the other team? That's my
well,
curiosity.
that's up in the air at the moment, but I believe based on who's joining the waiting room, it'll be Beef at Engineer Gaming Live. If I had to take a wild guess.
That's a good guess right there. That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
guess.
there they are. Those are our guests of honor pulling up for the interview
Howdy,
right
howdy.
here, right now.
So, how are you guys
Up
feeling after that match? You guys are able to get the 2-0, very close, but able to secure both maps. I mean, it was a bit of a slugfest near especially during the first map.
I could just the first map you could just feel it sapping our energies just more and more and more and just communicating less and just like, oh, everybody needs to take a nap after that. Every day.
Oh yeah.
Also,
I
I
mean,
got
I
to do
was-
something for my team. They want me to do something, so pardon me while I. Hey, look, buddy. I'm an engineer. That means I solve problems, not problems like what is beauty, because that would fall within the purview of your conundrums of philosophy. I solve practical problems. For instance, how am I going to stop some big meat mother hub from terminating structures of producing the The answer? Use a gun. See, I told you. I told them I was going to stutter. Anyway,
It was a good attempt. It was good.
Darn.
It was good.
Almost. I tripped.
Happens.
That's okay.
Happens.
None of us knew the payload map, and I'm just like, this is the hallway, guys. This is the door. Oh,
Yeah, just,
that
I
head
feel
peak
like a
on the
lot of
first
teams
map.
are-
Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna
Oh.
say, I feel like a lot of teams are very unfamiliar with the maps. I think a lot of it is just like scheduling conflicts and not being able to show up to the scrims and everything, but having to like crash course your team on those maps like with 30 seconds before you play
Yeah.
is definitely a challenge.
I thought my people had scrimmed on it before, but they just like I don't know. Anyway, that head glitch on the first map, that's gonna get changed, right? That then the last points there, that stairway.
Well, we can't make any promises about that, but you can voice your concerns to whoever made
No,
that
I'm
map
just-
because I'm sure
I'm
they're
playing,
watching the
it's all
stream.
good.
Give the mailing address. I mean, aesthetically though, like the maps. I mean, I thought they were some of the most beautiful maps I've seen in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the blend.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess Engineer Gaming thinks that the maps were very nice looking. How about you? How about you, Beef? How are you feeling about those maps?
Oh yeah, no, like the maps are very good to play on. I know one of the maps I did play on like way before this whole charity thing, and during the scrims, I was barely able to attend those because of the fact that I was mostly sleeping when everybody was like wanting to scrim, and it's like I already knew this one map, but it's just really my only gripe is that it's very open. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, fair enough. I mean, well, I guess we got the big questions that we wanted to ask you guys both out of the way pretty fast. So,
well, I mean, we're all thinking it.
We're all
Brain
thinking it.
cell.
Well, do you have anything else you'd like to add, BBL? Maybe another question. or
For
two
me,
before
no. I
that?
mean, any shout outs you guys have? Any final words before you two are sent into the meat grinder, the payload map?
The meat grinder? Oh, no.
Wait. No,
Yeah,
don't put us back there, please.
Not the meat grinder,
We
please.
gotta
I
power.
wanna go
We
back.
gotta power the stream somehow, man. I mean,
Oh,
it's for a good
jeez.
cause. It's for a good
What do you think
cause.
keeps the lights on?
I really want to say you guys are doing an amazing job. I love the whole thing. I've been here since you guys started with the EU. I've been watching. It's such a good production, and you guys do such an amazing job. So you're all great. Yeah, love you guys. Seasonalander, woo!
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying.
Let's go,
Y'all are-
Seasonalander!
Yeah.
I do have one question though. How do you feel about going up against basically the whole Chuckle Nuts plus not scary broccoli, grape juice? Yeah, how do you feel about that?
For the grand final.
The grand final.
Oh, the grand final? Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
You're going up against Raw, buddy.
Oh.
Oh no. Well, it was
know
a
what?
good run.
You know, no.
I was to say, don't kill your vibes. Don't kill your vibes. You guys,
I
Fake it till
believe
you
we
do it,
can do it. I believe we have a chance.
That's the mindset you gotta have.
That's
Don't
what-
count
that's
yourselves
what-
out yet.
He's the voice of reason.
Of
Yes.
course. All right. Well, thank you guys for stopping in for the quick interview after your games. It was nice watching. Thank you guys for putting on such a great show. And oh, wait a minute. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. There's another donation. Hold the phone.
Whoa.
Hold the phone. Spicy T21.
I'm holding it.
Hold on to it tighter. You're not ready for this. 4167 from Spicy T21 saying 41 problems, but 0.67 bans. Did snap. Don't know what that last part is supposed to be, but thank you very much for the 4167 donation to Child's Play. We are so close to $1,100.
Can we hit 1,100 by the end of the stream? That's the real question. We got like 11. You need like less than $11. $10.63. Anyone going once, going twice?
Maybe going thrice?
Oh.
Quadrice, perhaps? Just saying. It'll be open even after the stream is done. So maybe if you missed it, you're still interested, or maybe you know some people that couldn't tune in, send them to Tiltify. They can send a donation at any time. If you'd rather wait and have it read on stream, you either want to do that now or you want to wait till tomorrow when we come back. And I think it's the same exact times as the game started today for both EU and NA. So just
that is correct. Yes.
keep that in mind for when tomorrow starts. But I think we got to shovel Engineer Gaming and Critical Beef back into the pit, into the grinder.
No.
So
Wait,
we can
not the
keep
pit.
the lights on.
Not the pit.
No, I'm ready.
I'm sorry, guys. You gotta go. You gotta go.
I
to
mean,
the pit.
someone's got to
It's
go.
so
to the pit.
Please, no, please.
No,
Please
I'm
don't.
sorry. No, it's a necessity. I'm sorry. It's for the greater good. But I guess I'm guessing that'll do it for the day. We finished our matches here in the North American side of things. There's no more interviews to conduct, so I don't know what the plan is on the production side of things after this. But as far as the casting is concerned, I think
I think the last thing for
think
us
we're
is to go in
done.
the meat grinder. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think that's our. I mean, it's calling.
That's where we're destined. That's our destiny, to feed the meat grinder.
I mean, any shout outs, any final words, I suppose?
You know what? I'll shout out my Grammy. She's probably watching the last half of the stream downstairs. I'll shout out my best friends that are also watching this. Shout out that one random European guy I met in Valorant yesterday that said he would watch this. Don't know if he is. Said he would, though. Guy's really chill. Shout out that guy. I think that's about it.
He better be here. If he's here, should like, you got to stand on business, man. And if he isn't here, that's not standing on business.
Yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. He's still here. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out that guy. And I guess that's about it for me. Who do you have to shout out?
No, I mean, thank you guys so much for having me. I do not believe I will be here tomorrow, so these will be my final words. I'm in the meat grinder permanently after this one. I thank you guys so much for donating. This is a cause that means a lot to all of us, including myself, a great deal. So, thank you so much for giving. You know, a little under 1,100 is great. We're over halfway to the goal. I'm super happy for that. You know, like. So thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out my mom, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, sounds good. I think we'll see you guys all tomorrow, same time. Don't forget to tune in. Spread the word for tomorrow, and make sure to donate if you are able. That'll do it from us today. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye bye.